Tonight's guests are Jay Fountain and Nick Valente, Bigfoot and Dogman researchers.
Looking back on the life that you're leaving, let it rest in a hole in the ground. Stick around for the great revealing, or the fire you've been dancing around. All we hear is the sound of retreating. No one cares where you're coming from. My ears are still ringing and bleeding. I guess we all knew from the start. These are the days my heart goes numb. Yeah, one of these days will be the one. Looking for answers. Oh, what a disaster. These are the days my heart goes numb. My heart goes numb. Breathing the fumes of the ashes, the spirits light up the night. Looking down the
We're live from the Untold Radio Network. It's Untold Radio AM with MonsterQuest producer, host Doug Hajicek, and co-host Jeff Perrella Jr. Untold Radio AM is going live right now. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Yep, that's the ticket. Now here are your Untold Radio AM hosts, Doug Hajicek and Jeff Perrella Jr.
Hello, Untoldians. Hello,
Untoldians.
Jeff.
How you doing tonight, everyone?
Yes,
Good to see you all there.
Yeah, my brilliant co-host, Jeff Perrella Jr., the Big Ragu.
Yeah.
That's a long name.
On this Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th.
Yes, it is.
Also my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom.
Isn't there a different name for today?
Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day.
Is that the name? I thought there was a nickname for it too.
There might be. I think it's just Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day.
Yeah, that was quite a day. That started World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, what do we got? We got a lot of people in the audience already.
Yeah.
We have
Good to see
buttworm.
everybody.
We don't only need buttworm. That's all we need. We have buttworm in the
Well, it's good to
audience.
see everyone
We got
and
Mary,
Buttworm.
yeah, Mary Jo in Tennessee, and Kenny Hess, and David Dominique.
Oh, hello again, Dave.
And who else? I don't know. I can't read.
Can't keep up.
John
Everybody there.
Ayers is here, moderator. But Buttworm's a moderator too, and fear the moderators. We
Yeah.
owe them. We do owe them a lot. We
Oh, yeah.
appreciate you
Huge
guys.
help.
Okay, so
Keep it clean.
tonight, I think we have a pretty powerful lineup on our show.
Heck yeah.
We have two seasoned Fortean researchers, Jay Fountain and Nick Valente, and we're going to dive deep into the darker, more chilling corners of the Bigfoot and the Dogman mystery.
Yep.
We get their insights. So you're not going to want to miss that coming up. And before we do that, we've got weird and fast news, or is it fast and weird?
Weird and fast.
Oh, weird and fast. Okay, good. With the weird fact of the week, which is
Weird and fast.
that's
Fact of
a
the
jaw
week.
dropper tonight. The
Yes.
fact of the week. We got my favorite clip picks, audience trivia, very, very cool tech breakdown that'll give you something to maybe ask for from your significant other for Christmas.
Or from Santa.
Well,
You
yeah.
never know. Santa might bring it to you.
Yeah, what else we have? Well, that's it. I mean, just go ahead and turn your dang lights down, get comfortable, grab a warm drink.
Or
Was
an
it
adult
hot-
beverage, if you
Hot,
prefer.
hot toddy,
Sure. Why not?
hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Wrap a blanket around you. And let's go with this fast and weird, or weird and fast, whatever you want to call it.
Weird and fast.
Okay.
Here we
Wait.
go.
It's time for weird and fast. Yeah! It's time for weird and fast news.
That was a really weird and fast bumper.
Weird and fast bumper. Absolutely.
All right. Number one weird and fast news is a new DNA study finds that feral dogs near Chernobyl are genetically distinct now. It's evolution in action, I guess, by radiation, right?
That'll do it.
Yeah. Scientists recently compared DNA of 302 feral dogs living near Chernobyl in the exclusion zone. And apparently dogs that are living only within 10 miles, and found significant genetic differences between the populations. One, I would imagine because they're feral, right?
Yeah.
They're not domesticated anymore. No one's caring for them. And two, obviously the radiation. Who knows?
Sure. Causes mutations.
And they may not know. It says, well, the study stopped short of definitively trying to figure out these differences or attribute them to the radiation exposure. Researchers considered a very strong sign that these dogs may be evolving, or at least adapting to survive in the irradiated, harsh environment. It says the findings feed into a broader conversation about how life can adapt and possibly thrive under extreme stress, and of course, post-apocalyptic event, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. Chernobyl's interesting. The plants there, the vegetation there has already adapted, and it's eaten up a lot of the radiation. The radiation is significantly lower,
Right.
than predicted, because the atmosphere and the vegetation is just kind of absorbing it. Nature finds a way.
Yeah, and I was reading about the giant catfish in that area around
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Chernobyl. They've grown to just
Massive.
200-pound size. If you can imagine a catfish, 200 pounds. All right, next, number two, strange orange lights over. See, I call these pink. They call them orange. Strange orange lights over Queensland sparks UFO debate. And you can see this amazing illustration there. That's exact.
Precise.
That's precise. There's no doubt.
I think I see a bat with 5 legs there.
Yeah, and its tongue sticking out. Residents near Bruyar State Forest in Queensland, Australia, have recently reported unusual glowing orange lights hovering and dancing above the forest. No sound, the trajectory or visible source. Some local authorities claim the lights are military flares, while witnesses argue the timing and behavior do not add up. The event has reignited UFO speculation in the region, especially with the holiday season bringing renewed interest in unexplained sky phenomena. Why would the holiday season suddenly, were they looking for Santa Claus?
I guess so.
I guess. It says the lights' odd behavior forming patterns like triangles and so forth, blinking, hovering, do not resemble typical flares or aircraft behavior. For now, it remains unsolved. And speaking of that, I just had an airline pilot send me some footage out of the cockpit that's, very similar.
Really interesting.
It's going on all over.
Strange stuff going on.
Yep. And then we have another brand new Jaguar living in Arizona, number 5. So we have 5 Jaguars living in Arizona. That's like amazing to me.
Yeah.
It says researchers in southern Arizona recently captured on-trail camera footage of a previously unrecorded Jaguar, now dubbed Jag number 5. This marks only the 5th documented Jaguar in the region in the past 15 years. Jaguars will be in Anoka, Minnesota, probably within a year.
Could be.
Well, I would crap my pants if I saw a Jaguar.
Cougar. We were just talking about this. Cougars are making a comeback in Minnesota too.
Oh.
Another one was spotted up in Duluth.
Up in Duluth, yeah. You had about 100 people send me that link.
Yeah, I bet.
I got to answer every one of them.
Yeah.
Saw it. Thanks. But anyhow, and conservationists say it could signal a slow return of the species to parts of its historic range. Biologists are now analyzing scat samples to determine the animal's sex, the diet, and health. That's enough of that.
Have you been hoarding scat samples?
Jaguar crap. And then old 3-eye atlas.
It has nothing to do with scat samples.
No. Big universe. Scat. Our latest interstellar visitor raises again new questions. So still being studied. Look at that drawing. Man, that's just, it's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool. 3-eye atlas, our latest interstellar visitor, raises new questions. The interstellar comet. So at least they're calling it a comet now.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Passed through our solar system recently continues to fascinate scientists. New observations show the comet remains active with dramatic ice jet emissions as sunlight heats its surface. This behavior is reigniting debate about the object's origin. Some researchers, including prominent voices like Avi Loeb, suggest 3-eye atlas might even be an artificial probe rather than a natural comet, though mainstream science hasn't accepted that hypothesis yet. Whether natural or artificial, 3-eye atlas remains a rare chance to study material from beyond our solar system, offering clues about alien star systems, composition, blah, 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 blah. See?
Pretty
That
wild.
ending. Do you like the way I ended that? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, very scientific.
Yeah, very. I'm sure people were happy about that ending. And number 5, apparently Australia's desert water holes harbor rare, tough life that's under threat. Everything's under threat.
Yeah,
Okay.
no
In the arid center of Australia's hidden rock holes, filled with rainwater after rainfall, kind of like our potholes, after rainfall season, and they apparently teem with strange, hardy freshwater animals, tiny plants, surprisingly full of life despite the harsh desert surroundings. They're calling these micro oases, and they show how life adapts under extreme conditions. Many species have evolved to survive long droughts, high heat, by resting dormant, drying up until water returns. But no one knows how human encroachment will affect these fragile pockets. So there you go. They're studying the holes. I have a feeling that the hole we're showing might be a little big.
Yeah,
Maybe
obviously. It's not an actual photograph.
No, it's not. All right, 6. Decades old UFO clues resurface with possible links between nuclear tests and UFO sightings. Well, I thought we knew about this a long time ago. I don't know. Old is new always. Researchers analyzing 70-year-old astronomical photographs have identified unexplained bursts of light near mid-century nuclear testing sites. So apparently they're looking at the old films and photographs now, looking for UFOs.
Interesting.
Like no one's ever done that, right? Reigniting speculation that some UFO sightings could relate to nuclear activity or fallout. I thought that was already concluded. While the findings don't confirm alien visitation, they add serious data of ongoing UAP nuclear connection. So, and I can do a lot of blah, blah, blahs after that one.
Yeah, a lot of evidence of that.
Well, they say it's significantly important because there was no digital manipulation back then.
Right.
So if you're looking at old film footage, it's important, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
Can't be faked. All right. Then we have our weird fact of the week.
Weird
which is,
fact.
It really is weird. Extra weird tonight.
Weird fact of the week.
It's now time for Untold Radio Weird Fact of the Week. That is kind of weird.
Super weird. All right. So here it is. So did you know, and I bet you never heard of this either, Jeff.
I did not know this. This is interesting as heck.
The moon actually has a tail. The Earth passes through it every month. So there's a tail coming off the moon. So here we go. Most people think only comets have tails, but the moon has one too. A gigantic semi-invisible tail full of sodium atoms stretching more than 2.9 million miles into space. Here's the weird part. Got to add the word weird, right? Every month for a few days, Earth actually passes through this ghostly lunar tail. So when the sun's radiation hits the moon, it knocks loose tiny sodium particles from the surface. And these particles create a long comet-like tail that streams away from the moon. That is pretty good. So, I wrote the dates down. It says, so I did a little investigating. The article didn't mention that, like, when does this happen? It says when the Earth drifts through the tail, the sodium atoms can act like, or can be detected in our atmosphere as a faint yellow glow, almost like the moon is dusting the Earth. Okay. And you cannot see it with your own eyes. You have to have special instruments, but it happens, it's going to happen between January 4th and 5th this year. Okay. Right after the full moon. So right after the full moon is when it kind of happens.
Yeah.
So Jeff, your assignment, get a mason jar.
Collect sodium molecules.
Stand outside in the middle of the street in downtown Anoka and try to catch me some damn moon dust.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll get going on that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can sell it on eBay.
Sure.
It says even if the Earth crosses the general tail region, the detectable interaction depends on conditions like solar wind,
sure,
Earth atmospheric magnetic field, etc. So it's different every month. So
that's wild. I didn't know that.
We'll get some. You can bring it. We could give it to a kid to bring to school for show and tell.
I'll get right now. Well, you can just put it in a jar and tell them it's that.
Yeah. Well, actual
moon dust.
So let's see. I see we have Nick Valente and JJ. He's gone. He's out wandering the streets right now.
His camera's left his camera on.
Yeah.
They're both checked in.
Yeah, they're checked in, but he's wandering the streets alone, cold in the snow.
He's out collecting sodium from the.
He's collecting moon dust right now.
Yeah.
Anyhow, what do we want to do? Let's do. So I thought we could do a little bit of audience trivia.
Sure. Can do that.
And because
it's now time for Untold Radio AM audience trivia. Who wants to play?
Damn it, you cut me off.
I thought you were done talking.
Oh, you always think I'm done. I'm never done.
To keep things moving, man.
Yeah. Somebody wrote me a nasty letter. You just like the sound of your own voice. I'm like, hell no.
I like cutting off the sound of your voice, I guess.
Yes, and you like to cut it off. Oh, so we say hi to Sharon and Verax and Alan and who else? Of course, once again, I have to say hi to Buttworm every time.
Mm-hmm.
So who wants to do trivia on snow? It's quite interesting. See? Snow.
Snow trivia.
Yeah, I think it's damn interesting. I did a whole doc on snow. First one ever been made on snow. I did a documentary on it.
I didn't know that.
That was quite interesting.
So who wants to play tonight?
Oh, my God.
Well, it's not a competition. We don't have to have anyone compete.
People are like, hell no. Judy does. I volunteered Judy.
Judy? Okay. Got Judy. Who wants to go up against Judy? Not a contest.
No, it's not a contest.
No wagering.
Judy goes, okay.
Anyone else?
Buttworm, you can play. So if it was rain, I'd play. Now you're okay, just because that's smart ass remark. You're in flat.
All right. So it's Judy
Flat
and
and
flat.
Judy. Yeah.
All right.
See, that's what happens when you smart off. Okay.
All right.
Warm-up question. What is the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth? Is it A, minus 72 degrees Fahrenheit, B, 128 degrees, 128.6 degrees below zero, or 102 degrees below zero? So
Fahrenheit.
A, B, C, or D? Or no, A,
Yikes.
B. Where did I get D?
I don't know.
just made D up. A, B, or C? 72, 128, or 102 below zero?
Well, Flat said A and Mary said B. And I'll look at the right one here. Waiting for Judy. Up, Judy. There we go. Judy's right.
And
Minus
Judy's right.
128.6 Fahrenheit or minus 89.2 Celsius. That is cold. Recorded at Vostok
128.
Station in Antarctica, 1983. Good Lord, that's cold.
Yeah, that's good. I can't even comprehend that, actually.
The coldest I've ever experienced actual temperature was 49 below, and it was 45 or 49 below when I was a kid, and that was just
In Hibbing.
unbelievable. Yeah, up in Hibbing. It was ridiculous.
You haven't been the same since.
They actually canceled school, which up in Hibbing, a snow day is pretty rare. Otherwise, you wouldn't have school all summer or all winter, excuse me. But yeah, I remember actually being a snow day. It was like 45, something like that, mid 40s below. It was crazy.
All right, next question.
Moving on.
All right, moving on. What is the term for snow that has been melted and refrozen into hard, icy grains? Is it called powder snow? Is it called, how do you pronounce number B? Is that nouveau?
Neve? Would that be Neve? Does that sound right?
Neve? It's a French name. Or grapple. So is it powder snow, neve, or grapple? The term for snow that's been melted and refrozen into little icy grains. So you watch the thing here.
Brandon's from Hibbing. He knows what I'm talking about.
Says I delivered the mail in 60 degrees. Wind chills don't count, Brendan.
It's still pretty dang cold, man.
That doesn't count. It's a non-counter. That's just how fast you cool. So, any
looks
answers?
Flat said B, and he is right.
So Flat got
1-1.
What did Judy?
Judy said A, C, grapple.
Oh, okay. So 1-1. All right. Which country holds the record for the deepest annual snowfall ever measured in a single season? Is it Canada, A, Japan, B, or Norway, C? Which country holds the record for the deepest annual? So it's how much snow they get the whole year. Canada, Japan, or Norway?
Deepest annual snowfall ever measured. Yeah, that's wild. Should I play our trivia music?
Sure. As long as you keep that crap low.
Let's turn it down here. All right. Is that low enough?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Which?
Judy says B, Japan. And Flat, they both said Japan. So
That's right. You guys are tied.
Tied 1-1.
Don't be looking this crap up. Because it could work against you.
Yeah.
Because if somebody answers first, actually, that's what we should do from now on. Okay. See, this is what we do. We change the rules as we go. Because it's
not a contest.
It's not a contest, and I'm not sending a prize. So we change the rules.
So Flat actually had it first if you want to
No, I didn't change the rules then. No,
Not
I
yet.
am.
Okay, now you
Not
change the
yet.
rules. All right.
Not yet. Oh my God, this is like playing Monopoly.
Very strict non-rules because it's not a contest.
This is like playing Monopoly with your family on Thanksgiving.
Just making up rules.
You just make up rules.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
High stakes.
Okay. What do scientists call snowflakes that form when supercooled water droplets freeze onto a falling ice crystal? Is it called frost stars, A, rime snow, B, or crystal bloom, C? What do scientists call snowflakes that form when supercooled water droplets freeze into a falling ice crystal? I thought that's how all snow was done, but whatever. Judy says A.
A.
Okay. Judy, you are wrong and you're disqualified from that question. Another new rule. What did Flat say?
Nothing
He didn't
yet.
say anything. I'm disqualifying you too, Flat, because you're taking too damn long.
Well, that's the rules.
Yeah, it's the new rules.
New rules.
Options. Well, where were you?
Too bad.
Too
Too
bad. In fact, just for fun, I'm giving that one to Judy.
So Flat gets a negative point.
Yeah,
Sure.
so you get a
So
negative
two-
point.
2-1.
Where were you, Flat? All right. In an avalanche science, what is the weak, sugary snow layer that collapses and triggers many avalanches? Then I watch them do that. They go up and they take a stick and they measure the snow layers to make sure there isn't a weak layer in there. And if there is, there's going to be an avalanche. So is it called A, dryback, B, depth hoar,
HOAR.
yeah, HOAR, thanks, C, snow crust, D, dryback, B, depth hoar, or C, snow crust, the weak layer in the snow?
Depending how you spell that, it could mean something very different.
Well, yeah. Judy says B.
Judy right away with B, the correct answer, the depth 4. So that puts Judy 3-1.
Yeah, heck. No, 4-1. 4-2. Remind me to never have you ever be a judge in the Olympics.
Well, I didn't give any points when they both tied. You gave a point to both.
Well, yeah, that's how you do it.
Okay, so 4-2. I get it now. That's the new updated rules to our
That's the new
non-contest.
updated rules.
Okay.
Yeah, right. It's constantly changing.
Fair enough.
Okay. What rare snow phenomena occurs when electrical fields make flakes glow faint blue or green as they fall? Are they called ice halos, snow luminescence, or cryo flash? A, B, or C? Ice halos, snow luminescence, or cryo flash? It's a rare phenomena that occurs when electrical fields make flakes glow. But you never heard of that, Jeff?
I've never seen that, and I've seen an awful lot of snow.
No. And when your snow glows, run. So let's see. I'm just looking at other
Judy
people
is
too.
on
Mary.
it quick. Judy said B, snow luminescence. Flat Rock
Daryl.
said A. Flat Rock, you are wrong, sir. Judy's right with B, so this puts Judy at 5-2.
Oh, gee. Okay,
Commanding
I'm
lead.
going to do one more. I see Daryl Denton's here. Hi, Daryl. We got Daryl coming on pretty soon. I think, I can't remember if it's coming out maybe next week. No one told Daryl he was coming on.
Surprise!
That's how we roll.
Surprise!
We tell people. We don't ask them. We just tell them. Yeah, Chernobyl snow, Carl says. Okay. I lost my place. What's the name of the specially compacted snow that Inuit hunters use to build structural blocks for igloos? Is it called A, Firth snow, B, Pocock snow, Poo cake? Did I say that wrong?
Best to not dwell on that one too long.
I'm not dwelling. Or is it wind slab? First snow, Poo cake, snow, or wind slab? I don't know how to pronounce it.
All right.
Yeah, Caillou goes, it's like changing the rules every 2 minutes. No, it's
not a contest. There's no rules because it's not a contest.
No, it's every 1 minute, Caillou.
Yeah.
We change them as we go.
They are both wrong. The answer is C, wind slab. Judy said A. Flat said B. Both wrong.
I like it when they get them wrong because that proves they're not looking them up.
Yeah, it's true.
Proves how honest they are.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, we'll just do one more.
Okay.
I'm looking for a good one. Oh, okay. Which U.S. location holds the record for the most snowfall in a 24-hour period? Is it Jackson Hole, Wyoming, Silver Lake, Colorado, or Mount Shasta, California? A is Jackson Hole, B is Silver Lake, Colorado, and C is Mount Shasta, California. Which area had the most snowfall in a 24-hour period? Flat says C. And Judy says B. And Judy, you got it right. Ding, ding, ding. You won, not a
Judy
contest.
was dominant tonight.
Yeah, you kicked his... Never mind. So you're going to want to get Jeff your email.
Send me your... I'll type it in here. Send me your... it's not a prize. It's not a contest. Send me your mailing address anyways.
Yeah, and we'll just... Maybe something will get dropped in the mail, no charge.
Maybe not. Probably
will.
What's my email?
Thank you, Judy. Thanks for that.
Here it is. Just typed it into the chat there. So Judy, email me your mailing info. And you didn't win anything, but we might send you something anyways.
Yeah, right, exactly. Not a contest.
Turn my music off. And I can take that down. All right.
Yeah, you can. I got a lot of what time is it? Okay, we're still okay. I want to do tech breakdown, but I want to do it. We can do this one pretty quick because once people get thinking about what I'm going to talk about, there might be a whole array of things that you can just do research on your own. So I don't want to get bogged down in too many details. So let's do it.
All right.
There we are. Okay, so this week's tech breakdown is going to be about a dual lens cam trap. A lot of you still using cam traps. Okay, that's great. Very cool. But here is a dual lens, very small camera trap. And you might be going, well, why would I want two lenses? I'm going to tell you why. I'm also going to give you the name. This one is built by Cam Park. It's their model TC06. It's 4K dual lens trail camera. And Jeff can put the link up in chat. And this price on this right now, it's 10% off, is $134 for this 4K. And it does video, of course. We'll get into the specs real quick, but I don't want to spend too much time. Okay. So why they are kind of a game changer. The dual lens trail camera systems, because they use two separate camera modules. Each is optimized for different lighting conditions. One lens is for at night, so it can be very specialized. One is for day. But and that makes a huge difference versus the crappy night vision I get on these like Ring cameras, or where it's flipping a lens in front of it, right? Mm-hmm. Or removing a lens. It's using the same thing. These are very specialized. Okay. So the result is going to be dramatically clear night imagery and far less noise, because each lens is built for a specific purpose. Dual lens cams produce truer detail and depth, especially when recording animals at dawn and dusk and in pitch black, right?
Mm-hmm.
So while they aren't true 3D cameras, the improved low light optics do make shapes, silhouettes, and motion drills far more accurate. Important when investigators need to tell a bear from a biped in a shadow. The difference is subtle in bright daylight, but huge when capturing night stuff. Okay. And for Bigfoot research, that's a huge advantage, right? It's going to be more reliable evidence than a standard single lens trap that's going to blur, wash out, glare, blah, blah, blah. And it does, of course, have AI. This has got, I mean, pretty much everything you can imagine, including Bluetooth, so you can go to the thing or near it and download it right to your phone without touching the cards or anything. You can erase the card. You can do everything right from your phone.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I do believe it's got Wi-Fi. So if you're near Wi-Fi, all the specs, just click the link, go and look at the specs. But my point here isn't to sell you this one. My point is for you to start thinking about going to a dual lens. If you're doing that, it's time for an upgrade, right? It's just, it's Christmas. Maybe your wife is bugging you going, I don't know, can you please send me an idea of what you might want? This may be something you might want to do as an upgrade. So there you go. That's it.
Think of what that technology would have cost 10 years ago.
Oh,
this is $134. 10 years ago, that'd have been thousands.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I've got all the specs. I could go through all these. It's nuts. And like I said, there is a Wi-Fi support with it. There's solar support ready to just plug in for solar panel. There's a lot of support for it. So that's
cool.
That's just one make. There could be 30 other ones you can investigate. Sure. That just happens to be the one I was researching. They take time to research. Give you something to do.
Yeah, it's amazing what the technology's gotten so cheap.
Oh, absolutely. Jay came back from his lonely walk outside. I see out in the woods. I'm glad.
Yeah.
We were starting to feel sorry for you, Jay, out there walking alone in the woods. Glad you're back.
Yeah.
Let's breeze through these clips really quick. There's most of these we can actually just even cut them off halfway.
Okay.
Because they're all like visually impact. They all have visual impact, and I don't need to watch the whole damn thing, nor does our audience. You just need to see a push. It's push clip time.
Okay. Well, tell me. All right. Well, here we go.
So the only one that's long is clip one because it relies on audio. And I think a lot of people have heard this, but a lot of people have not. I haven't found one person that's heard this clip. It's a 911 call of about a very strange occurrence that happened. And it's been kind of verified that this is a call that the police got. Go ahead and play it, Jeff.
It is very hard to listen to that call, to that 911 tape, without becoming somewhat unnerved. It actually bothered me the first time that I heard it.
Henry County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
I'm driving on 210. I just crossed the Black River, and I thought I saw a guy standing on the side of the road.
You saw a man standing on the side of the road?
What the?
What was that, sir?
That's not human! That's not human!
Sir, are you okay, sir?
There's something in the bed of my truck!
Okay, what's in the road?
No, it's not in the road. It's in my truck. In the bed.
There's something in the bed of your truck?
Yes, ma'am. I just turned on my bed lights for my truck, and there's something in my bed.
Okay, sir, when you say something, what do you mean?
I just knocked it off of the bed of my truck and went over my roof.
Okay, what was it?
According to the CAD notes and the deputy reports, this thing jumped into the back of his pickup truck and began to actually beat on the top of the cab of his truck. You could actually hear something beating on the top of the truck. The caller stated that it was beating and scratching on the top of the cab of his truck.
Yikes.
I'd say yikes.
Yeah.
So that was the longest one I have. All right, next. We're gonna be all over the map here. We're gonna jump from this to Damascus goats. These are just so strange, and I've showed these animals before, but God, they never cease to amaze me.
That is a strange looking animal.
Sounds funny.
Esto que ves aquí no es ciencia ficción. Es la cabra Damascus, originaria del Medio Oriente. Se hizo viral por su rostro tan extraño como único. Algunos creen que parece un alien, pero es 100% real. Además, produce buena leche y es muy valorada en programas de cría. ¿Te animarías a tener una?
Yikes, that is a strange looking critter.
Yeah, they have like 3 or 4 things in their mouth, like layers of their gums, and they're weird looking. All right, clip 3. Sound is good. You'll get the idea really quick on this, but it's something to think about. Is the Earth alive? Is this a heartbeat? Go ahead and play it.
Every 26 seconds, the Earth pulses. A faint tremor, too subtle for us to feel, but powerful enough to shake the instruments of scientists around the world. For decades, this mysterious heartbeat has echoed beneath our feet. Steady, unchanging, and unexplained. First discovered in the 1960s, the signal was traced to the depths of the Atlantic Ocean, near the Gulf of Guinea, off the coast of West Africa. And since then, it hasn't stopped. Some say it's the ocean itself, waves crashing against the continental shelf like a drumbeat deep within the planet.
All right. That's enough. But did you know that the Earth has got this steady boom, boom, boom?
I did not.
Well, now you know. See?
Now I know.
We didn't have to listen to the whole damn thing. If you're interested in that, go read about it. Next. And once again, these clips can be pretty quick, but sound is good. Another kind of master of camouflage. It's a giant frogfish. Not only in color, but texture. There you go. That's enough. Did you know there was a giant frogfish that can camouflage? Jeff?
Yeah.
You did?
I'm sorry. Whenever I pull a clip up, it plays in my ear. I'm sorry. Say it again.
Did you know there was a giant frogfish that can camouflage like that?
Not specifically, but there's some animals that got really good camouflage. That's for sure.
All right. Now we're going to jump to another topic. Sound is good. These are UAPs that are increasing all over the country. The sightings of these are up like 1,000%. Go ahead and play it.
What is that? Now it disappeared.
Here they form triangles.
Wild.
That pilot, I mean, people are seeing them all over. It's kind of a big thing right now. I don't know what they are. Nobody knows. Then why do they form a shape? That's the other weird question. You know, maybe they're creatures and they're mating. Food for thought.
Who knows? Yeah, could be anything.
Or mating. Okay. Clip 6, sound is good. The clip is making its encore because it's so bizarre. And this is from a guy named Casper's site. You know, guy always posts interesting things. I like to follow him. Go ahead and show this.
What? What? No.
Just repeat that
Jacob,
one
where are you
part.
going?
She can control her pupils.
What? No.
That's wild.
No. Jacob, where are you going? Are you joking right now? No, are you joking right now? How are you doing that with your eyes? Your eyes are like...
And no, we can't assume they're drones.
No, we can't assume that.
You know, they could be some kind of, they don't make noise. Doesn't mean that the government, is something. I've seen them up close. I don't know what they are. They just kind of look like balls. All right. Did you know there is a balloon museum in Iowa balloon museum. Here's a helium-filled ball covered in carbon color crayons. And this ball, kids they kind of just float it around against the walls and it draws. It looks like my gem. Go ahead. Strange.
How odd that there's a balloon museum.
Yeah, and there's not only a balloon museum in Iowa. There's the International Balloon Museum in New Mexico. So there's two of them. In this
There's
country.
two?
Yeah, we have the International and the other one. Okay. Oh, it's in Albuquerque, the other one. So there is something to do in Iowa, Jeff. I argue about what you said mean things about Iowa.
I didn't say anything mean. Did I say something mean about Iowa?
I
was thinking it. I didn't say it.
I'm just joking. Okay, clip 8. Sound is good. This is interesting. Pay attention to this because I'm hearing more and more people that apparently are in the know are saying, go ahead and play this about UFOs.
I've had people who I know are in the know, and I've mentioned this before, and one of them told me the truth is indigestible. It's not something that we would be able to fully grasp or entertain, and that it's like, it would be like telling somebody something that they can't do anything about, and they don't know what the repercussions of that would be. It's so great. It's so world-changing and transformational, and maybe not in a good way, So
there you go.
I mean, what could be so?
Yeah, I've seen various things kind of related to that, dude.
Every time I hear that, though, I go, wonder what it is.
Yeah.
I wonder what it is if you're really in the know. All right, clip 9. Sound is good. We can skip through these really quick because they're all it's new footage, 4K footage. It's not AI of a lot of the weirdest secrets. That's an oarfish. Next. Super cool. Super crazy. The next one is a Dumbo squid. Super bizarre. How'd you like to see that thing walking around your living room, Jeff?
Yeah, that'd be a little unsettling.
Yeah, a little bit. Next. This is called a pelican eel. Now watch what it does. There you go. Right in your face.
That would, yeah, that'd get your attention.
Next. Okay. The next one is called a dragonfish. You'll figure out why real quick. Look at the teeth on this thing. I think they pan back a little bit. Look at that. Imagine that thing biting you.
Wow. I don't think they're very big, but that's still creepy as heck.
And then we have a beautiful animal called a Crosota jellyfish. It's really amazing, delicate. These are really deep water animals. It's a UFO.
Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a dang UFO. All right, clip 10. Now, this is a guessing game. Everybody pay attention. I want to hear.
This got some naughty words printed.
No, that's fine. I'm going to warn everybody about it, though.
Okay.
So you can turn your volume down if you don't want to hear some naughty F words.
Yeah.
But I did, it's just like, well, it's whatever.
Full warning. There's some bad words.
Full warning. Yeah, bad adult words. If you have kids in the room, tell them to leave. But this is really an interesting clip because it is a real animal and it really is out of place and it's really in this woman's yard and it's really winter. Go ahead and play this. Everybody
and
guess.
Again, language warning. Be aware.
Yeah. Guess what this is.
Bro, what the fuck are you?
They're really baffled. Anybody want to guess what that is? Come on, let's see some guesses. Because I'm going to tell you what it is exactly.
It's like a young kangaroo or something almost.
What the fuck is it?
Yeah. It's not a deer. Not deer.
It's definitely not a deer.
No, it's not. Not
Well, what the
deer.
heck is it?
Somebody flat says rabbit. Cat. Looks like a statue. No, it's not a statue. It's a real animal. Okay. So, all right. So just play the next clip. It does look like a rabbit deer. Hang on a second. But it's a Patagonia covey. And they actually make good pets. They love people. They're a rodent, but they have these really long legs. They stand 20 inches tall, weigh 35 pounds, and they can leap 7 feet in the air. And this was one that got loose when a construction worker came to a farm and it was doing some construction. Actually, it leaped out a window. Go ahead and play the footage. This is what it looks like up close. It is a Patagonia covey. It's another name too. They call it. In South America, it lives in the grassy plains of South America. But apparently, they're just really friendly and smart. And a lot of people keep them in their houses. You know, like those capybaras.
Yeah,
those are friendly too, and it's kind of a relative of that. But this is it's a rodent. Looks like a deer.
Yeah,
Doesn't it look like a little delicate deer? It's got kind of deer eyes, deer coloring. Maybe that's what we saw. Maybe we saw a Patagonia covey.
I don't think so.
No, it didn't. We had the one we had had a narrow nose. So there you go. Something new all the time, right?
Yeah.
And Flat says they had a couple of zebras, Luther. What were you smoking? No, sure. I'm giving Flat crap today, ain't I?
A couple left.
Only got 2 left. I just have to rub this in because half of the country, over half, we're all in really cold and snow right now and blah, blah, blah. Go ahead and play this. This is like heaven on earth.
Oh, man.
That looks
Go
like
for that right
heaven
now.
to me. Wake up in the morning, go out and have a cup of coffee, sit on that stairway, and hear all those birds singing and look at all those beautiful fish in that gin clear water. That is, I believe, the Bonita River in Brazil. Heavenly place.
Never been there.
No, me either. We've been to some weird places, though, haven't we, Jeff?
I've never been south of the equator. I really want to go see I really want to go see the sky, the stars south of the equator, because it's completely different stars than you see here. I'd love to see that.
All right. Clip 12. The sound is good. Things are not as always you appear. Okay, you see a peregrine falcon there, right? Right? Beautiful. It's really just a bunch of garbage.
Wow.
But things are not what they appear often. And that goes with even Bigfoot research. We have to be aware. Look at that. How 3D that looks like
That's
a peregrine.
pretty wild.
That's just garbage. And then I did have a clip, one clip as a bonus. This is a carpeted motocross racetrack, but it's carpeted. Go ahead and play this. This is insane. God, I'd love to do this. There's no mud, no dust, no dirt, no dirt bikes.
Oh, man, that would be fun.
And everything's set up to be super smooth. Should we talk to Joe about building us one of those?
Good luck with that one.
Yeah, good luck. Okay, that's it. All right. Our guest. Well, we zoomed through a lot of stuff pretty quick. Our guests. And I don't know if I want to call him Jeremiah and Jay. I'm going to call him Jay.
Okay.
So Jay Fountain is a former professional mixed martial artist turned survivalist, hunter, fisherman, seasoned 14 researcher, a dedicated field investigator, and cryptozoologist. He's been deeply involved in anomalous research since 2001, so it's going back 24 years. Jay approaches the unknown with boots on the ground mindset, driven by his own experience, which I hope to hear about, experiences, and a strong sense of responsibility to the community. His mission is simple: gather real evidence, uncover solid facts, and help bring clarity to the mysteries so many people are searching for answers to. Okay, so that's Jay. I can get to his friend Nick Valente. And so Nick is more focused on Dogman research. Nick is the Fortean researcher, cryptozoologist, and field investigator with 24 years experience also. And he's the founder of the International Dogman Project.
Cool.
So
yeah, we haven't talked about that in a while. Be fun.
No. I miss Dogman. I haven't seen a Dogman. I don't want to see a Dogman. But anyhow.
Me neither.
But I am ready to get these guys on here.
All right. Let me disclaim them first.
Yeah. Please disclaim everything they say.
All right. And welcome, Jay and Nick. Hi, guys.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hello there. How are you?
Good.
Hey, Nick. Hey, Jay. I am so happy, to meet you guys in person.
Yeah.
Well, sort of in person. But, it really is. It's better than nothing, right? It's better than a phone call.
Yes.
We get to know you, learn about you, and share everything. Okay, so I want to know, first off, you guys, you're into Bigfoot. Are you into Dogman too, Jay?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you both are. So you're kind of both in that same.
Nick's the out of our partnership. Nick's the Dogman guy. I'm the Bigfoot guy, but we both crossed over in the last 6 years.
Okay.
Actually, we do all of the cryptids.
All of the cryptids. Excuse me.
We just we're just more specific to Dogman and Bigfoot.
Yes.
But we research all of the cryptids and throughout the world, actually, guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's more cryptids around than you could possibly count.
Yeah, well, we heard about that 911 call. Do you guys think that's real? That 911 call we played? What are your thoughts? Did you not hear it? Maybe you didn't
I heard it. Now 15 years ago, Doug, I would have said no. A lot of my beliefs have changed since then. Yeah. So I don't put anything past the realm of possibility nowadays. No way.
More open-minded.
Way more. I've seen way too much weird stuff, and way more open-minded. I was the kind of guy 15 years ago, 20 years ago that would have told you that these Bigfoot were an ape, and no, there's way more to it. Way more to it, and I'll get into that later.
Yeah. And there's no rush, so we got plenty of time to talk. So, have you guys both? You can both jump in, but have you both had a sighting of either one or the other, or both of these animals?
I've had an encounter, and I've had 2 sightings of Dogman. By encounter, I would say that there's a difference between just a sighting and an encounter. The encounter is I was approximately 30 feet away from one, and on 2 other occasions I had a sighting, just a fleeting sighting, maybe 5-6 seconds, and then it ran off. But the encounter was a little bit over a minute, and about a minute and 6 seconds.
Wow, that's a lot. I mean, that's long.
Yes, a very long time.
Do you want to share this? I think it would be great to share that now, because then it gives us a lot more to talk about.
Well, this is September 13th, 2013. I was coming home from work. Actually, we had 3 days of, qualifications, and I was dog tired, and I decided that I would take a shortcut going home. So instead of taking the highway, going around in a circle, I went over the mountain, and this is in Mountainside, New Jersey.
Okay.
And I went up into Watchung Reservation. At the top of the reservation is an oval. In the center of the oval is about the room of, I would say, 6 football fields. side by side and then front and back, where they do various things for picnickers, and there's kids can go on different swings and stuff like that during the daytime. It's a park. It's Watchung Reservation. There's a couple of old buildings there. One is a bathroom. One is a place where you can get ice cream. There's another part where you can just go under to get out of the sun and drink some water. And right near those buildings, within the oval, is a stop sign. And as I'm coming around the oval, and mind you, it's 11:30 at night. It's pitch dark. I'm driving my Jeep, and I got about 500,000 candle power and auxiliary lighting on because it's pitch dark up there.
Okay.
And I can see in the distance a reflector, and then I saw a bicycle leaned up against a stop sign. And look, when I got closer later on, I can see that it was locked over there. And I'm saying to myself, what does a bicycle do in there? And I figured I'd look at it as I was passing by on the roadway. As I get closer, I see a very large figure, and the figure's right hand, I want to call it a hand, an arm, went from on its side up to its mouth and back down. And as I got closer, I'm now seeing that this is a small bicycle, so it's probably a child or maybe a woman's bicycle. And I'm thinking maybe this is a bear, because from the distance that I was looking at this thing was huge. And I'm saying that to myself that it's possible that this thing attacked a human. So I stopped my vehicle about 30 feet away from it, and I had this thing lit up totally. And it's looked like no bear I ever saw. It had a wolf-like head. I was later to find out, because I went back the next day and I compared it to the stop sign where its head stopped, that it was over 7.5 feet tall.
Wow.
And to my sight and my looking at it, I'm estimating this thing weighed about 650 pounds. It's raw muscle covered in dark hair. It had something in its right claw. And like I said, as I was driving up on it, it had went up to its mouth and went back down. And I'm saying, my God, there's a bicycle. Could it possibly be a kid? And it killed a kid? And I didn't know what this thing was. This is 2013.
Gee.
I knew nothing about the Dogman at the time. The face looked like a wolf's head. It had a human-like body, but it was super large. In any case, I stopped 30 feet away from it, and I get out of the car. I have bear spray in one hand. I'll show you what that looks like.
Oh, gee, that's a big one.
Yeah,
good stuff.
And I had my 10 millimeter Glock in the other hand.
That's a big one too.
Get out, and I'm telling you guys, I got 500,000 candle power lighting this thing up, and it was facing off to my right, its left. It was cantered to me, and it ignored me totally. And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm looking at it, and it went once again up to its mouth with what it had in its hand, took a bite and went back down, and it's just stood there chewing. Now, this all took place in a matter of 1 minute and 10 seconds. And I'm watching this thing, and it was like I was nothing. I was meaningless to it. I didn't mean anything to it. It didn't care. I mean, this thing was huge, vicious looking, and nasty. Now, I'm not going to spray it. I'm not going to shoot it because it didn't attack me. As a matter of fact, I'm glad.
But you're in your Jeep. I don't want to interrupt you, Nick, but you're in your Jeep, right? And the headlights are shining on this thing.
Right. And it totally ignored me.
Yeah, we're going to want to talk about that later as to the reasons. But go ahead. This is crazy.
Long story short, it walks off after about a little bit over a minute.
Wow.
And I know it was real. I know it wasn't a spirit because I could hear it stepping on the leaves. I could hear it stepping on the branches, and it just went. And after a few seconds, I'm saying, maybe it's trying to go around me. So I popped back into my car, locked the doors, turned it around, and I could see off in the distance on the right-hand side, up in the air, I could see I like to call it a glowing orb. and it was in the sky, and that was it until the next day. The next day I came back with a team. We were totally kitted up. We measured where I thought the head of this creature came up to on the stop sign. And the stop sign was 8 feet tall. This thing was about 7 foot, 7 inches tall. We checked the area. We found blood. And what we found was that what it had in its hand was the part of a deer, a hindquarter. It had a leg. This deer was shredded straight down the middle, and all the internal parts were gone. I guess it also ripped off its leg and was chewing on that. Well, we did find a blood trail that went about 7-8 feet in, and then that was it. And the blood trail was most likely from the leg of the deer that it had in its hand.
Wow.
And that was it. And that's what got me started on the Dogman. I did not know at that point what that was. I knew what vampires are, I knew what werewolves are. Personally, from what I've read about and researched on werewolves, is they're only going to be maybe a inch taller than the human that they came out of, that they formed out of. This thing was 7 feet 6 inches tall.
Yeah.
We measured it, like I said, to my eye on the stop sign, and we checked the area, and I didn't find anything. Years later, I find out that the Lenape Indians had a home up there in the Watchung Mountains long time ago, and that there was a burial ground there. And through my research, I also found that Dogman, sometimes they guard the burial ground of the Native Americans. So that was my first encounter. Like I said, the next two were just sightings.
Well, hang on. I want to dwell on this one a little bit. So you see this paradigm-changing creature. You don't know what it is. I mean, what are you doing now? Because you go home. At some point, you got to go home and go to bed. You got to talk to your, I don't know if you're married or you had a family at that time, or you were, I mean, Jeff, did you tell anybody?
Nobody at home at the time. I just went back to work the next day, and I got a team of fellows. We're paramilitary, and I brought them back, and we checked the area out because I wanted to see, if what I saw was for real. I mean, I did not know what this thing was. I mean, I know what a bear looks like. It was like no black bear that I've ever seen, and it's like no brown bear I've ever seen either. We don't have brown bear in New Jersey, so it was not something that I knew anything about at the time. I went on a quest to find out what it was. Back in 2013, who knew? What this thing was?
Gosh.
Somebody's asking a question.
Yeah, he's asking about, so with the bicycle, was there any missing people reports? Anything going on with that? Like,
Not that I found.
Never heard anything. Okay.
No, nothing. I went to the Watchung Police Department because I'm former military myself and former police, and I showed them my badge, and I asked them, I says, do you have anybody missing, any children missing in this area, lately or anything? And that was a negative.
Wow. This is certainly one of the best, reports and encounters I've ever heard of. But how are you dealing with this mentally?
It's just another phenomenon that I have to try to explain.
Do you think about
He has his reasons for being in cryptozoology. Mine are to prove or to disprove.
Yeah.
That something's real or not. I've investigated the Mothman, and I felt that it was a sandhill crane. I investigated the Mothman from soup to nuts, and from soup to nuts, I mean all the way down in West Virginia, all the way up to Chicago. There's a ley line that goes straight up there. It's also a pathway that the sandhill cranes go on when it starts to turn, summertime, and they start flying north up that way. A lot of people don't like the fact that, I like to either prove or to disprove. So to me, I disproved it in my mind anyway, but there's a lot behind the story of the Mothman besides that one story there in West Virginia. I went in search of Chupacabra A buddy of mine from the military called me up, and we went down into Texas and then over into Mexico back in 2010. And I actually got to see a body of a chupacabra. And as it turns out, they're kind of common in southwestern Texas. To my satisfaction, once again, prove it to disprove, when I took some DNA samples from it and sent it to a fellow who is a veterinarian that I knew, I paid for this myself. And it turns out that it was part wolf, part coyote, and a high percentage of something unknown. And mind you, when they run this DNA on animals, it's worldwide. So they've got a very large data bank for that. So once again, to prove or to disprove. I mean, I've been South Jersey, where you have Dogman, you have sightings of Sasquatch. I mean, you name it. There's just so much down there, and cryptozoology, guys, is just so interesting. That's all I know, and it's a wonderful. I like to call it hobby, which I kind of do full time these days.
Yeah. And how did you get into this, Jay?
Well, to be honest with you, my mother had bought me a book when I was 7, and I'm sure you remember. It's called Unexplained Mysteries of the 20th Century. And 7 years old, here I am flipping through it, and I come to the picture of Patty. And I was my little self was immediately hooked, just immediately. And my father owns quite a bit of land up here. We're originally from a logging family. And this private parcel of land has been home to a family group of 6 to 8 Sasquatch over the past 40 years. And I had my first experience in 2001, which I can get into now if you want me to.
Sure. Oh, sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. It was muzzleloader season up here, and I'm up in the Adirondacks. It's very, very Scotchy up here. I'm in the northern part of the Adirondacks, where Whitehall is towards the southern tip of the Adirondacks. I'm way up north, 2 miles from Canada.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area. It's
crazy, beautiful,
crazy
beautiful
wilderness.
Yes, it is. So I went hunting. Like I said, it was muzzleloader season, and I had plans of, tagging a nice buck. I had some nice bucks coming into my tree stand, and I wanted to harvest one that night. And I went in and sat in my tree stand for a couple hours, and all of a sudden I got a really weird feeling. It's very hard to describe. Very, very, very strange feeling. So I said, I think it's time to leave, and I walked out of the tree stand, and I had about a quarter-mile walk back to my truck. And as I'm walking back, my father has an old 1940 style skidder that's still down there. It's parked on the left-hand side of the logging road. Okay. And I'm about 50 yards away, and I can see a set of eyeballs and a head pop out from behind the skidder. And, I've been in the woods all my life, and I can identify most animals, and pretty much any animal that's native to the Adirondacks, I can recognize them in the woods, not a problem. By the shape of the head, this thing, and I knew it was something in the eyes. I knew it was something that was a bit off. I, at that point, did not know how off it really was until I got a little bit closer. I get just about directly across from the skidder, and this thing pops its head out again, which at that point, it brings its arm around the front end of the skidder as well. And it would have had to have been its left arm from it being on the left side, the skidder being on the left side of the road, nose first towards the trail. So it would have been its left arm. I could see the fingers and the hand and all, and I knew at that point I was dealing with something different. So even though I know what to think, I kept walking forward, and I got in front of the skidder, and all of a sudden I had my muzzleloader on my shoulder. All of a sudden, out from behind the skidder jumps this creature. and there's a log laying horizontally this way. Okay. Another one 15 feet away, running the same way. When this thing jumped out from behind the back end of the skidder, it hit that log, that first one. And you talk about athletic. I could not, I just couldn't believe what this thing did next. And as human beings, when we take a jump, or we want to take a long jump or whatever, we squat down and we swing our arms and all to try to get that full distance. This thing, when it hit that first log, it propelled itself off the ball of its foot. It didn't swing its arms, didn't squat down. It just rocketed itself off the front end of its feet.
Okay, let's stop you right there, though, Jay.
Yeah, sure.
I hate to interrupt.
That's okay.
I'll never get it out. Okay, so did it seem to defy physics? Like it was weightless almost.
In my opinion, yes.
It defied physics.
In my opinion, yeah.
Is there any way muscles could have done, just huge, really athletic muscles could have accomplished that move? Is my question.
I think, even your best Olympic jumpers, have trouble jumping that far from a standing position like that.
Gosh.
So.
And how high did it jump before we move on?
From off when it hit that first log and it leaped off that, it probably went 10, 15 feet in the air at least. And when it hit that second log, it did the same thing, Doug. It propelled itself off the ball of its foot. It leaped off that second log and got immediately behind a tree that was about 15 feet away.
Wow.
So here I am. I've got this thing about 30 feet in front of me. And it was still we still had a little bit of light. Okay. So I just want everyone in here to know that Nick and I, we are not pro kill, but we do believe you have the right to walk in the woods safe, and you have the right to come out safe as well, which meaning I would only fire one of these things in self-defense. I'm not going to go out there and shoot one for the heck of it, So, this thing came out from behind a tree when it hit that last log and landed in front of a big white pine, and it went behind that white pine as soon as it landed, but it popped back out. Okay. And here it is just standing there looking at me. And my first thought was, did somebody have a pet orangutan around here that got loose? Because that's the first thing that came to mind when I was looking at this thing was not the face so much, because the face looked more like an ancient human than anything else. It did not look like an ape, at all. So I wanted to get a better look at this thing. And I raised my muzzleloader, and before I could even get it halfway, I wanted to look at it through the scope, Before I could even get it halfway up, this thing goes like this, and it hops back. They knew what that gun was. They know what guns are. And it hopped back behind that tree, and I did not see it again. I don't know if it went down and all it bellied out like they're famous for, or if it found an angle that I couldn't see from where I was standing, and it just bolted, because they're that intelligent that they can figure that their intelligence is so far superior to ours, in my opinion, that it's unreal. We can't fathom some of the things that they do. So yeah, that was my very first encounter. When people ask me, what this thing weighed, okay, and how tall it was, what did it weigh? This thing was no more than 5 feet tall, if not a little bit shorter, and it probably weighed 200 pounds. When I tell people that, they're like, "Oh, that's not that big." Well, yeah, when you're talking about 4'11" or 5 feet, 200 pounds is big. It's put together. That's very muscular and very athletic built. So, like I said, that was the last time that I saw that creature on that particular evening. At that point, I went and walked the rest of the quarter mile to my truck, and I took off.
Wow.
It was disturbing. That first encounter ruined my hunting for about 2 years. I wouldn't go back in the woods for a couple of years. It really it was mentally disturbing. People, these these cryptids are not meant to be, really not meant to be seen. You know, brain is not supposed to see something like that. And once you do see, yeah. So once you do see it, you can't forget it. That's not something you can unsee.
Okay, was the color, was it like an orangutan color, that auburn reddish?
It was auburn red. And auburn reddish color.
Did it have long hair coming off the bottom of its arms, kind of?
Yeah, I had the long hair coming off the forearms. Yep.
Forearms, yeah.
No facial hair, no hair on its face. It was all skin. The skin was a light tan. And the rest of it was like that auburnish color. Yeah. Yep. But it was just amazing. The athleticism is still what blows my mind. Out of all my encounters, the athleticism of these things is incredible.
Yeah. And you do wonder, you know, we don't know, but I have heard reports, as I'm sure you guys have, where they do things that don't seem physically possible.
Yes.
Like it seems to defy gravity. Like they're not affected by the gravity like we are. I'll tell my story later. People have heard it, but we saw I don't know, it was a winged creature dropped out of the sky one night. Me and Yvette were driving down the freeway. It had its wings outstretched, but it dropped straight down. It defied physics. It's like it didn't catch any air. It just dropped right in front of my car windshield and then zoomed towards our car windshield.
Wow.
And, you know, its wings were as wide as the freeway.
Wow.
Certainly was no crane. If it was a crane, it would be even more interesting because it would have been about a 500-pound crane.
Right.
You know, I mean, that'd be pretty damn interesting. And I've done actual crane research. I'm the guy that brought Siberian crane eggs. I used to work with the Crane Foundation and brought Siberian crane eggs all the way to Russia that were almost extinct at that time. So, I mean, I know cranes, and that's not a crane. It was some weird creature that wanted to scare the living crap out of us, and it did. It accomplished that.
Yeah.
And you just go, well, why did we get to see that? And that's got to be the way you felt, Nick, too. Why did you get to see that thing for so long? Did it know the future that you were going to end up being a dogman, running the International Dogman Project? That's what I was wondering. I think about that stuff. I think, well, what became of the sighting? Maybe they know. Maybe that's if I show myself to Nick, if it is some kind of supernatural being, Nick is going to promote my existence. Does that make any sense, Nick, or am I just talking?
Nah, I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I've done so much research over the years on the Dogman and on Sasquatch. Although I've never seen a Sasquatch, I've been in Oregon. I've been in Washington State. I've heard the wood knocks. Heard the pounding on the ground as they're walking. I've seen the trees that were inverted and slammed back into the ground from the top down. I've never seen one, and I've also seen footprints, you know, the Sasquatch footprints, and suddenly they end. As the saying goes, where the footprints end. I kind of feel that these are probably interdimensional creatures. Probably.
Well, that's what I was saying. And I wasn't saying it's what I think. I was just throwing out one of the crazy diarrhea theories that a person crosses your brain. Why did you get to see that for so long? Did you ever ask yourself that?
It was hungry. No, I never asked myself that.
You never did. I'm surprised.
No, it felt like it thought I was insignificant, and I was nothing to it, and it just stood there and had its meal and then walked off.
But but it's never crossed your mind that you're kind of lucky or special to be able to witness something that.
I'm not special. It's just you happen to be there at the right time.
Okay.
Or in this case, the wrong time, because you don't really want to see something like that. One of your listeners asked before in a comment, any footprints or anything. We scoured the area. At that time of the year, it was leaves and twigs and everything like that. Nothing to be seen. The only thing I took out of that years later, and I did some research on, was the fact that there was an orb in the sky. You know, what could lead you to believe it possibly could be an alien? It could be an alien's pet. It could be something that they put down here, you know, to see how humans are. It could be something that was left here. Scientists say that there are 11 different dimensions. That's a proven thing through, you know, science.
Yep.
It's possible that they can travel between the dimensions. I mean, a Sasquatch, 1 minute it's there and the next it's gone. How is that? Without any footprints, without a trace.
Well, the other thing is we don't even know. Maybe that just happens by accident, just because, you know, I have a feeling that humans once in a while, I swear to God, I've had days where I'm like, that's not where I put my wallet. That was like another dimension. It's now, you know, somewhere else. I'm just saying, what if?
Yeah.
You know,
one of our members, International Dogman Project, he's out of Australia, and he does research over there. He went through some sort of a portal because he was on a river over there. He went to go fishing. He had been fishing that same river with his father since he's been 5. And here he was, late 20s. He was going slowly down the river, and suddenly he sort of blacked out and woke up, and he was actually 5 miles down the river. And at the pace that river was going, he should have never been more than a half a mile. And he had to call his wife to come and pick him up, transport the boat, you know, back home and everything, because he was far away.
Yeah.
So I mean, he went through a portal. Maybe the Dogmen and Sasquatch and Mothman and whatever are using interdimensional portals.
Or they're not using it, just happens. It just happens to them.
Yeah, it's possible too.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're aware of what's happening. All of a sudden you can see them, they can see you, and who moved into whose portal. You know, what happened? I mean, those things could form anywhere, in the woods, in the street. They could be anywhere. I mean, there's so many stories to back that up. So it's just another theory to think about.
Yeah.
What if this crap all happens by accident?
Yeah.
You know, both to people like the missing people, hunters that are super experienced suddenly disappear. What happened to them? Did they go through a portal and not come back? And it was because of the portal they went through accidentally that caused them to get confused and lost, and then they die. I mean, it's fun to think about all these.
Or were they kidnapped by human traffickers?
Yeah, of course. Any of those things.
I mean, that's another thing to think about.
There's never usually one explanation for everything.
No.
It's usually a multitude of things.
Yeah, like or you know, are they taken by some sort of cryptid? You know,
yeah,
it could be.
What I mean?
Yeah,
Nick, and then
who knows? I'm
sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, Jeff. I was just saying. You know, I'm not saying that is what's happening. I'm just saying, like you, Doug, there's possibilities to different things. You know, so I think you know that could be a possibility of a lot of these people going missing.
Nick, in that encounter, Nick, did you see a tail?
No, I did not see a tail, and I mean, not that it didn't have one, but it was dark, and even though I lit it up, it was cantered off to the side to me, and it's possible there was a tail. But
you say is there a consensus? Is there a consensus on that on sightings? Is it more typical to see a tail or not, or any kind of pattern there?
Well, with the International Dogman Project, we receive anywhere from 25 to over 100 reports in a week.
Oh, wow.
And, of sightings or encounters. And
Wow,
I'll interview everybody either the way we're doing it right now on a telephone or by email if they're more comfortable that way. And I ask them certain questions, and that's one of the questions I ask. And a lot of times they do say that there is a tail.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. The one I saw didn't either, Nick. You know, I've told you thousands of times, but yeah, as far as you guys go, the one I saw up close with my wife in the car had no tail, and Even he was on two legs, and then he got down on all fours, and still didn't see a tail. And it didn't have, and I mentioned this to Nick too years and years ago when we first started working together, that I didn't see a tail, and that the legs, it did not have the, what do you call them, Mick? The backwards facing legs. What's the term for that? Nick?
You're talking about like hawks?
Yes,
Hawks,
yeah. Backward. It did not have the backwards hawks like a dog.
Mm-hmm.
It had legs and like a Sasquatch, and then
right,
yeah. And I did not see a tail on that one.
That's what I noticed with the one that I saw, that I encountered in the Watchung area. It did not look like it had any sort of a hawk.
Right.
Do you make your reports, Nick, at the International Dogman Project available to the public?
Members can access an area that we do put our reports in.
Okay.
But any reports that I have will be that are given out to the public, that is, that they can access. They will be, I will classify them so that it's the state and the section of the state, north, south, east, or west. I will not give a name because most people do not want to do that. They want to make a report. They don't want their names put out there. They don't want their 15 minutes of fame. They do want to make a report, and most of the time I get the street area and a contact in case we're going to send a team out to actually investigate it further. That's one of the reasons why I try to talk to people face to face like we are right now.
Yes.
Jay knows that, a few years back we had a fellow from California. Remember the airport worker?
Oh God.
And after taking reports for over 20 years and then researching this guy was far off. He wanted to be on our show, but we know it was total BS. He's telling us he's 50 or 60 dogmen run by this private airport in the security hut that he's in almost on a daily and nightly basis. They're 12 and a half, 15 feet tall. No, any reports I've gotten, dogmen generally stick to family size, if anything. And that would be 3, 4, 5. And height-wise, 7.5 feet, under 8 feet is basically what we've always had reported to us. I've never heard anything like that. So that gentleman, needless to say, never got on our show.
Have you ever heard a report, guys, of like an adult dogman with a juvenile dogman?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that I would imagine rare, but
I'm sorry, Doug?
I would imagine it's a bit rare to hear that double, seeing two animals. Could you, is there anything you can relate on that?
Well, one in particular in Texas, there was 2 juveniles and they were very close to a farm area that was fenced in, and the male, and that's what I was told anyway, the male came and indicated to the 2 juveniles to leave the area. So, that's one part where they were together. A juvenile dogman's growing up. It's learning like any kid would learn.
Yeah.
And the male, which was really huge, came out and indicated to them to leave the area, and they left the area. However, over the past year or so, one or both of the juveniles did revisit that same area, and was seen by the owner, the landowner, and they're lucky that he didn't shoot him.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Do you guys run into situations where they're on their property? It's a homestead situation. They have a bunch of acreage, and they see these things on more of a regular basis. Has that happened?
Well, I've worked a lot of cases like that where these people are habituating them, which I'm going to catch crap for this. I know I am.
Go for it.
I do not think that's fair. Okay, if these people that feed them food, okay, I mean, maybe leaving them a gift is one thing. That's one thing. But feeding them food over and over, these squatches get dependent on this food. Okay. Say something happens to the owners of that house, right? Well, now you're stuck. The new owner is stuck with a family of, 7 to 9 foot hairy beasts that's running around their house, pounding on the walls, screaming in the windows and stuff. I had to work a case like that. And the guy who I went to school with, he used to bust my chops, man. What are you going to look for Bigfoot this weekend there, Fountain? And and be like, yeah, absolutely, and he never took it seriously until I got a phone call from him one day. He had inherited his grandmother's house and wondering why these things are running around, pounding on the doors and pounding on the walls, screaming in the windows, sticking their face in the windows and whatnot, Come to find out, we went and we talked to his father. His grandmother had been feeding these things for 30 plus years. So when she died, they went through, food withdrawal. They were cut off cold turkey, and that's why.
What about people who aren't doing any feeding? They're just seeing them on a regular basis because they own a lot of land.
Right.
I'm one personally.
Wow.
We have like I said, we have a family in our land. Anywhere from 6 to 8 at any given time, except in the wintertime. I don't know where they go up here. You hear a lot of reports down south of dogmen and Sasquatch all together in one spot. Well, I don't know about down south. And Nick, you will agree with me on this, I'm sure. Up here, they don't play well. They don't play nice together. The Sasquatches, they'll come, they'll leave. They'll come from November to about April. Then they'll leave, stay gone they'll stay for the summer, spring, fall. They'll move out, and then the other ones will start poking around.
Yeah, so they'll boogie out of there in November and come back in April.
Correct.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And then the dogmen will come in.
So let's just talk about dogmen for a second. I want to get both your opinions. Maybe they differ. What do you think about, and are there any sightings, like, let's say, like the Midwest, the upper Midwest, where we get a lot of snow and cold? Are there any sightings in the winter? So it's kind of a yes or no.
Yes.
There are.
Definitely.
Okay.
I've had sightings. You see, we log these things, and I log them according to state. And North Dakota, I mean, it's cold up there. I've had sightings up there. Upper Idaho, I've had sightings over there. I have friends and members of the IDP in Canada, and we've had sightings. You will get more sightings of Sasquatch in Canada and in the cold areas, however. So, I mean, that's something to remember.
They tend to get a little bit bigger too.
Yeah.
In the northernmost territory.
Yeah, for some reason they are. They're much bigger, and I'm thinking that's because of I guess the elk and the moose, up there.
The bears are bigger, and
everything.
Well, it's Bergman's law says that the farther north you go, the bigger the animal is to have more body mass to keep warm. It helps them keep warm.
Thank you, Doug. I was trying to think of that term they call it.
Bergman's law.
Okay. Yeah.
I wonder what size Bergman was. Oh, anyhow. But so sightings happen all year. It's not like just a summer thing.
Yeah.
It's all year. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, we had an influx of sightings of Dogman and Sasquatch when you had the California wildfires. And I was getting a once or twice daily reports out of California when those wildfires were going on. And I guess because it was pushing them out of their habitat. Something people have to also understand is that you'll see more of a Dogman or a Sasquatch or any cryptid for that matter where there's water. So near rivers and streams, because all living things do need water.
Yes.
You have things like rabbits and other small animals and birds and everything that visit the streams. So that's easy pickings for the
Right.
cricket.
Yeah, it's the corridors,
you
usually a
have-
forest along a stream too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have fish, fish in there and everything.
Right.
So
And then there's springs too, right, Nick? I mean, I've got one on our property. The other, some other
Right.
spots I investigate up here have springs, which, a spring, like Nick said, is going to bring in smaller game, which leads to bigger game, then leads to big enough game for Sasquatch and Dogman.
And are you guys under the impression these things can do just fine on the edges of agriculture, the edges of suburbs?
Yes.
I mean, there's corridors of forest, but
yes,
you don't think, in other words, you could have a sighting a mile from a gas station, correct?
Well,
easily, yeah.
Yeah, that's so.
Because people are moving in, these things are, people are taking up their natural habitat.
Yeah.
So that leaves them really no choice.
Well, the other thing that, I often think about, there's a lot of Bigfoot evidence and footprints and hair samples. And in our case, we're analyzing even blood right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of physical evidence available in this study. The skookum body cast to this, to that. I mean, it's just so much. You've casted footprint casket. Oh, you haven't. Did you, Nick? Somebody sent some photos. Okay. Were those yours?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you've cast footprints. I'm talking about Bigfoot now.
Yes.
But why doesn't seem to be much evidence of Dogman other than a lot of sightings? There's not a ton of physical, like footprints and
there are
hair.
There are footprints for Dogman. There's also claw marks. You'll find them on the trees that they're reported in the areas. And there's a difference between a Dogman claw mark versus a black bear. A black bear, its hand is about as big as mine. Then you have a brown bear, which is about that big. So there's a difference. A Dogman claw mark will be splayed apart, very far apart, going up. And we have photographs of that. So, I mean, other things we do look for are hair. And especially if a report has gone about a Sasquatch or a Dogman through a field, and if the field has a fence, a barbed wire fence, or even an old fence that's rusted, those are actually the best ones. And you'll get the hair caught in there as they're going straight through it or over it. So, I mean, there's other types of evidence that people are looking for out there.
Sure.
Excuse me. Has there been any good forensic work on Dogman stuff, and are you interested in spending some samples, because obviously a lot of them get destroyed, on getting DNA and that kind of thing?
Well, you gotta understand, the problem with that is when you send the samples to supposedly trusted places like the U.S. government, by that I mean the Smithsonian. We have people that sent whole jaw bones to the Smithsonian and hair samples to the Smithsonian. I'm just giving one place for an example. And months go by and they don't hear anything. And according to UPS or USPS, it was delivered and it was signed by somebody. When they call up, that person never worked there. When they call, when the people who sent the information there and sent the samples, when they call up, there's nobody that works here ever by that name. We never got anything like this. Yeah. They deny it. They absolutely deny it. Now, when I took the samples that I got from the Chupacabra, when we went over into Mexico and we went to this farmer / rancher's area, and he let us see it, I took samples of it. And like I said, I spent my own money with a veterinarian to have those samples checked out and identified. So, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to have to do it out of your own pocket, and you're going to have to do it with somebody that you can trust.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And come to mention, when Nick was just talking about, evidence, turning up missing and stuff like that. As I told you in the phone the other night, Doug, years ago, after my second sighting in 2007, I hooked up with another gentleman who was a pretty famous researcher, and we talked. You know him too. I'm not going to mention his name or his organization's name on the radio, but I had a bone I found when I was up in Maine doing some research, and when we were up in Maine, I had a guy come up to me at a gas station out of nowhere, and he said, "You're Jeremiah the Bigfoot guy." And I said, "Yeah." And, who are you? He said, "I'm just a friend." He goes, "You're coming to see so-and-so up here, the other Bigfoot guy out of this state, aren't you?" And I said, "Matter of fact, I am." And he said, "Well," he goes, like I said, I'm just a friend." He goes, "Just be careful what you put on the radio from now on," which was
really
weird. Yeah, it gave me the creeps.
Oh, that's really creepy.
So then when I got to my associate's house, and I found the bone, I contacted the other gentleman who were in the organization I was working for, and he knew an anthropologist at a university. So I sent him some pictures of the bone at first.
Are these the bones with the teeth marks?
Yes, sir. Yes, they are. So I sent them to him, and he said, "Jeremiah, you need to send that to me, that bone to me immediately. You've got something." You could tell just from the pictures that it was something worth looking into. So sent them out, and lo and behold, I never got them. I never got it back. I never got the bone back in the mail. Yes, could it have gotten lost? Of course. But the circumstances were very strange.
That's strange. So who do you think, who do you think the person how were they dressed? What were they driving?
They were driving an SUV, okay? A black SUV. They were driving the black SUV, but they had regular clothes on, baseball cap, and whatnot.
God, that's really a strange story, because that's as creepy as it gets.
It's very bizarre.
But I have, I could trade some other stories with you guys at some point off the air.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting. You just kind of make things that make you go, and they bug you, right? The story that happened to you will bug you for the rest of your life.
Rest of my life.
Yeah. Absolutely. Who was that guy?
Yeah.
And have you ever had anything like that happen, Nick?
Nah, nobody has come up to me. I mean, I've worked for the federal government, and I know certain things that they do and they don't do. And, it's just that I've had many reports, of people sending stuff to the Smithsonian. And I'm just, very jaded to doing anything like that.
Yeah.
I'll have to just save up my nickels and dimes and send it to a veterinarian that I know who will do a DNA test.
Right. Go through a third party.
I wish I would have waited, Yeah. I would have waited to send that bone.
Yeah.
Who's to say it wouldn't have ended up missing anyway,
So I want to compliment both of you guys too you both have really great audio. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's like stellar audio. So
what I want to say, Doug, is that this is another reason why a lot of people do not want to come out with it, and they don't want to share what they have found. And, they don't want it to be taken from them. I don't think Jay wants to get into it. I'll just touch on it briefly. He knows somebody that has a finger that was most likely taken from a Sasquatch. That person doesn't want to have anything to do with the rest of the world about, sharing it.
No.
There's a lot of people out there. And, with all the reports that the IDP gets and other agencies get, I'm calling them agencies, other organizations out there, they get, people don't really want their 15 minutes of fame. They just want to report that, and they want to get it off their chest.
Yeah.
We saw this, and this is what I saw, and I want to report it to you. And we do the best we can to write it all down and to, put it out there so our members can see where this came from. Every once in a while, I'll get people asking me, "Gee, I just moved to such and such an area. Any reports?" and I'll go through the archives and I'll see what was reported. And I'll say, for instance, I told this one fellow, about 10 miles away from where you are. And he told me, well, 10 miles is just too close. So he moved again, just moved to an area, and then he moved out. Not something they want to go through, not something they want to put up with.
Yeah.
So, do you guys feel that these mysteries will be helped by some of the UFO disclosure going on? That people are going to be going, oh, I guess it's okay if I talk about Dogman or, call this guy or tell people, because that used to be laughed at too all the time. The UFO mystery was so laughed at. I mean, it was terrible. And now, it was always giggle, giggle, giggle. And now it's kind of taking a much more serious tone. Do you think that cryptids will be helped by the serious tone with the other mystery, which is, these weird lights in the sky and craft?
I think eventually maybe. I think the as far as the UFO reports and all this evidence of UAPs, excuse me, is the proper term now. I think the people talking about cryptids, is a little bit behind that. So I think it'll catch up in the next, maybe 5-10 years. That's just my opinion.
Interesting. So, okay, let's just switch gears a little bit and talk about Bigfoot.
Sure.
Have you guys both had an encounter with a Bigfoot? Obviously you have, Jay, but how about you, Nick? Any?
No, I've tried. Like I said, I've been up to Oregon, Washington State, Canada.
Okay.
I've only heard the tree knocks and heard tree knocks getting closer and closer and closer. Like I said, I've seen the upside down trees that are shoved into the earth. I don't know how that could be a possibility.
Yeah.
When you were asking Jay about, the Sasquatch before and how strong it could be and big. Well, look at a gorilla, how strong one of those things can be.
Yeah, that's
all
true.
right. And now taking into account a 15-foot Sasquatch. I know there was on one of the shows, I don't know if it was on History Channel or not, where a logging company, they were out doing their thing right near the river, and a tree that was maybe 24 to 28 inches around, 10 feet long, came sailing out of the forest in their direction.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing. It was reported. And, what they did was they went and tried to find out how strong could this thing possibly be. They got an FX guy from Hollywood to create a mechanical machine to try to throw a log that large, the same distance that this one traveled. And they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. So you tell me, guys, how the heck did this thing come flying out of the forest, at the loggers?
Is that the one that's there's actually footage?
Yes.
Of it?
Yes.
I've seen it.
Yes.
I've seen it.
You've seen that one?
And if you notice,
it's pretty compelling.
If you notice close, it whips it with one arm.
Guys.
Yeah, it
it's
is
very
amazing.
compelling.
It's compelling. Yeah.
And it's old. It's from way back.
Yeah.
I believe it was shot in VHS. It was so
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no AI involved in that.
No.
Absolutely not.
Jeff, I'm sorry, I've been hogging all the questions here. Go. Shoot away, Jeff. What do you want to ask
You want to
these
talk
guys?
about some of these images you sent me?
Sure.
Jay?
Yeah, definitely.
What do I actually have them numbered
Why
here.
don't you put up the phone first? We were already talking about
Sure.
All right. Is it is this the right picture?
Yep.
Yep. There should be a few of them there I sent you.
Yeah.
Now those right there are a rodent, some type of rodent, but the bigger ones on the other side, having that bone in front of me like these, I mean, much bigger than you can't. The picture does not do it justice. these teeth marks and indentations were 3 times the size of my teeth. 3 times.
Wow. Yeah, and it's normally, I think, just porcupines and mice that
Exactly.
go after these things.
Yeah. And this, I tell you, one thing about these bones was there were sticks pushed down in the middle of them still. You know, like something had tried to scrape out the bone marrow.
Dig the marrow out, sure.
Yep. And I don't know of any, animal with a hand that can do that like we can. You know,
there was another gentleman, I can't think of his name, forgive me, who was out west.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Oregon or Washington, who was studying or had looked at and found a lot of bones with like human-like teeth marks.
Yep.
On them. What do you know his name? I don't remember.
Can't think of it off the top of my head.
Mitchell. His name was Mitchell.
His last name?
Yeah, I believe that was Mitchell. That's the only part of his name I can get right. But he was investigating. I don't think he ended up getting a ton of interest, which is kind of weird because a tooth mark is, something's got to make it.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken like Play-Doh or clay and tried to cast some of the teeth marks so you could see it in positive?
I wish I would have. I would
So those were all sent off and gone now. Correct?
Gone.
Oh, gosh.
Yep. Makes me sick. It just makes me 100% sick.
Yeah. Okay.
I got an idea what happened to him, but I'm not going to get into that tonight.
Exactly. That is weird. What else you got, Jeff?
This is a pretty crazy picture. A little graphic, so be warned. Looks like a deer carcass up in a tree.
Yep.
Deer carcass.
That was the one we had the big debate about on Facebook the other day.
Right.
Now, Doug and I, you and I talked about this. Nick and I, you've talked about it with myself. This happened, on a buddy's farm who Nick and I have interviewed 3 separate times. He's very credible. Ex-law enforcement, ex-military, combat Marine. He now owns an 80-acre farm parcel, and it is inhabited by a group of 8 Sasquatch. And during part of the year, like my experiences up here, during the winter time, that's when the Sasquatch leaves, the dogmen come in. Giving credence to my statement earlier, take off, the dogmen come in. And that I'm just speaking for up here. That's all. But anyway, this thing was 16 feet up in a tree, and 3 times in a 6-month period, same limb, same tree each time. So that to me is compelling. Now the big thing was people online. Okay, what they were trying to say was this was done by a mountain lion. No, it wasn't. It was not. When I first took this picture, I put it on Facebook, and I got the same responses. Well, the gentleman I was talking about earlier, he also knew, he knew more people, more scientists and whatnot. And we sent him this picture, this biologist and big cat expert. He was describing to us how jaguars and leopards are made. They are made for dragging kills like this up in a tree. Okay. And stashing them. Mainly from lions.
Right.
Whereas they have, and they have the jaw muscles, and they have the hip muscles, the spine. They're built for that, And this is not from me. This is not from anyone else. This is from a PhD big cat expert at a university. And they, like I said, they have the jaws, the hips, the back, the back, the muscles. They're just built for it. Whereas cougars, mountain lions, whatever you want to call them, will bury. Usually 99% of the time, they will bury their kill. Like he told me, he's not saying they don't ever do it, but it would have to be a pretty darn big male, to drag a large, deer up into the tree. And this thing was pretty much mutilated. This one in particular, one right here, the bones.
Yeah, it looks like it's torn in two.
Torn to pieces. Yeah, just nothing, and it had been torn to pieces like by nothing of any other predator I had ever seen.
It looks like it's torn apart with hands, is what it looks like.
Thank you very much. That's just what I was going to say next. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Because when I've seen captive cougars eat deer kills, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was involved in a capture of a cougar. That big debate whether it was wild or somebody's released pit, but it would only eat venisons, and the kills it would eat were very compact. It was never like this, where it was torn. They would eat it, but not like, God, it wouldn't look like this.
Right.
That looks mutilated, like you said.
And
what was the conclusion from Nick on this? Nick, what do you think about that?
When I was looking at that, I was saying, is that a dogman's kill?
Yeah.
Because the dogman would be big enough and strong enough to pull it up there.
Yeah.
We've had, in the past, that family of 4 that was attacked in Landby between the lakes, the daughter was found in a tree.
Yeah.
Some 200 yards away from where their trailer was. So, and there's been other reports over the years, actually over the decades, of large animals found dead in the trees. And like Jay said, that would have had to been an awfully large male. And at that, I mean, an unusually large male cat to be bringing that up into that tree. And then the way that thing was torn apart, that's not the way a cat normally rips something apart.
No.
It's not the way it would normally rip it apart at all.
It's not. And granted, in one other piece, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Doug.
No.
But up here, I'm right at the edge of the Adirondack Park. We're right near the entrance to the Adirondack Park, and the Seaway on the other side is the St. Lawrence Seaway Valley. And so we're right there. We get the best of both worlds because they're both very squatchy and a lot of dogman sightings in both areas. So I get the best of both worlds. I get the valley and I get the mountains, and we have a Mohawk reservation down the road, and we get a lot of reports off the Mohawk reservation as far as Sasquatch. There's supposed to be a family group of them down there right now. So yeah, there's a lot of sightings up here of both types.
Yeah, and I always tell people, people will go, people that don't know anything about any of these mysteries talk about Bigfoot, and you got to kind of give them the log line kind of explanation.
Yeah.
And I usually talk about it's a geographic problem where people see these in certain geographic areas where there's corridors and streams and water and hills and forest, but they generally don't see them on the cities. They don't, you know what I mean? If it was a demographic problem, they'd be spotting them everywhere, downtown LA. But it's a geographic issue.
Yeah.
And do you agree with that, Nick? That it's very geographic?
I agree with it wholeheartedly. I mean, because there's really nothing for them, in a city.
Right.
No reason why, they would go by there. I had one of our members down in South Jersey who lived in a city that spotted a dogman, but it was in the forest area. Like here's the edge of the city, and that's where the forest started. And she reported it on 3 different occasions. And one of her coworkers, a male coworker, was actually scared by it on one night also. So, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, they're going to be in areas where they can grab food that is known to them, get the water quickly, and where they can, either burrows or caves or, whatnot, where they can rest also.
Right. So, and to make it clear what I meant when I say city, Yeah, on the edge of suburbs for sure, and even maybe on the edge of a city if it's butts up to a river, a huge wooded area where there's a quick escape into the forest.
Yeah.
Fine, yeah, but I'm talking in the middle of downtown LA or Minneapolis, or whatever.
No,
You're not
nothing.
going to get sightings there. You would if this was all imaginary. That's the first place you'd see. That's the first place the sighting would come in.
Absolutely.
Someone drinking at the bar, and there's a dog.
Yeah.
It never happens ever.
Mm.
Why is it so perfect? Always next to water, next to like in fact, Bigfoot. You'll never get a sighting past 500 yards from water ever.
Never.
I dare somebody to find one. You just don't. They're always right by water.
Yes.
Usually it's 100 yards, less than 50 yards. It's too coincidental to say, oh, okay, we have thousands of sightings and they're all within 100 yards of a pond or a stream or a creek.
Right.
It's crazy.
Matter of fact, I sent another set of pictures I sent today was some tree structures and stuff off of an investigation that I had been on. And right on that property, they had water, a spring.
That looks like a fence.
Yes. Looks like a blinding spot. Yep.
Yeah. Or a blind. Yeah. Deer blind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of these tree structures are just that. They're just a break. What they'll do is put them by a game trail and they'll just leave them there for a while until whatever the deer just get used to them. And then they'll at some point come in, stand behind it or near it. And, here come the deer down their trail, just like they always do. And they, that thing's been there a while and then they grab them.
Yeah. The weird part about this investigation was, well, one of the weirder parts, it was all weird, but yeah.
Thanks, Roger. Send me one.
the lady who owned the property and the residence, she noticed and told her daughter. She said, "Listen, these things, whatever they are making these mounds in the yard, and they're taking, I forget the little wouldn't say his name on the air anyway. He's a child, but let's just say little Johnny. They're taking little Johnny's toys and putting them in the middle of these mounds, and that was dragged from somewhere else because you can see the root ball right there, and it was jammed in between, that tree. But anyway, okay, we're coming up to it, so you'll be able to see the toys inside the mound soon. And these things were showing up. We would go to bed and there wouldn't be any. We'd wake up, see the handlebar to the little tricycle right there in the middle. Yeah, and we'd wake up and they would be there. There you go. More of it.
Wow.
Yeah, just the toys and everything in the middle. Just the weirdest
so
thing.
Weird, yeah.
Which makes you wonder what they were trying to convey when they even did that.
Yeah, so, they had something in mind. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that T structure, I've never seen one of those.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
Oh, and see, Todd, Bigfoot New York Todd, said he's just filmed one of these last week.
Very
so there
cool.
you go. That is what's cool, is that this stuff is everywhere. It's so consistent.
Yes.
It isn't like, oh, this is just a phenomena in your neck of the woods.
Right.
It's here in Minnesota. It's in Michigan. It's in Pennsylvania. It's in Ohio. It's everywhere out west. The same behaviors. It's that consistency that just, drives me nuts. I'm trying to think. So one of the questions I wanted to ask you, Nick, what do you tell if somebody, you're at a party and people ask, what do? You get on this topic of your research, and what do you tell them to what's your best argument to let people, or give them something to really think about and consider on the reality of these things?
My thing is to do research, 14 research, and research cryptozoology. And I tell them, I said, most people don't want to tell you what they saw. They saw something unusual. They don't want to tell you. And why is that? Because people are going to think they're crazy. They might be going for a higher up job, where they work. And who's going to want to make them vice president if they're talking about seeing Sasquatch? I mean, hell, the guy's crazy. If you're a doctor, and there's been sightings by doctors of Squatch out there, if you're a doctor, people are not going to want to come to you. You're the crazy doctor. Who wants to come to you, right?
Yeah.
There's one doctor who was a very famous plastic surgeon in California. He was pulled over one night and stopped, and he had a 44 Magnum in the passenger seat. And the officers, he showed him, he had the license and everything for it. Officer said, "Why do you have it out?" He goes, "Because I'm going home. And when I go down my driveway, they're in my backyard. And I need to protect myself from them if they try to come at me."
Wow.
I mean, this was in newspapers years ago. So, I mean, people don't really want their 15 minutes of fame. People say, "Oh, sure. Yeah. You think that they're out there and this and that. And how come there's no dead bodies? How come we haven't found anything like this or that?" Well, I'm going to be honest with you. How many times have you seen a bear bones found out in the wild?
Or a dead bear carcass.
Yeah, you don't see a carcass because nature claims itself, and quickly the buzzards will come down, the animals will come. Do you know that deer will eat bone for the minerals and the calcium?
Yes, they will.
Deer will do that. And then after everybody's finished, then you got the little microbes over there jumping on it, and it starts to dissolve. The ants get in on it. Everybody gets in on a dead body.
Yeah.
So you see, when people argue about something, I listen to what they say, and then I tell them what I feel about it. And hey, look, you got to think. You think about this, but think about that. Think about this stuff here. How did this happen, and how did that happen?
Right.
Something I like to throw at your people who maybe they don't know too much about cryptozoology or cryptids, in reference to Sasquatch, Bigfoot. Don't feed them. Do not feed them. Never give them food of any sort. You want to trade trinkets? That's fine. Do not give them any food, because the second you stop giving them food, they're going to get mad. And I went on one case where the lady thought she had dogmen in her backyard, and I gave the case over to Jay. It was in New York, in upstate New York there. And what happened was turned out to be a Sasquatch. Turned out that this lady was leaving apples on how when you cut a tree, you got like 3 feet left, and you still got the roots inside and everything. She was leaving apples on top of that every day. Then her parents got sick. She was away for a while. She came back. She had an area that her father built for her. He had sunk 4x4s, 42 inches into the ground to make a caged-in area for her garbage cans so that the raccoons wouldn't get to it. And he topped it with wire. All that stuff was ripped. The 4x4s were ripped out of the ground. And she was blaming it on Dogman. Yeah. And what I found out when I went there one night with a few of my fellows, that it wasn't a Dogman actually. And she had pictures of the eye shine in the backyard. And the pictures were approximately, the eyes were about 24 feet off the ground. So I'm figuring she had something that was 25 feet tall. And that's no Dogman, as far as I'm concerned. The only place I've heard of a 25-foot cryptid would be in Alaska, where they had reports of 26-foot, tall cryptids. And this is by researchers who heavily researched Sasquatch in that area. So we're talking about New York State area now. Yeah. So I had to give that one over to Jay. And I mean, this lady was beside herself because all the shit that was done in her backyard and everything.
Yeah. She ended up moving. I told you that, right? She ended up moving.
Yeah. Her front door was 26 feet away from a major highway.
Yes.
A major roadway.
Yep.
Right. And her neighbors on the right and left were a little bit, I guess they're about 300 feet away each one, because they had a lot of land over there. And her backyard was mowed. It was like It was like a 100 feet by 100 feet flat, and in the back was where that one tree was, where she was putting the apples.
Yeah.
And so, folks, if you want to trade trinkets, you know, shiny pennies and quarters and stuff, or marbles, that's fine, but never food. Don't do food because they won't stop.
Totally with you. And then the thing is, you know, people think if they feed, the thing is, I'm going to catch crap for this one too, but oh well. These things are not all nice, okay? All these Sasquatch, okay?
Right.
And people tend to think nowadays that they are all nice. Well, they are not. I can tell you that firsthand. You know, some of them, they all don't want to sit around the fire and sing Kumbaya and play the fiddle. You know, they don't want to sit down and, you know, break bread with you. You know, they aren't all nice. Granted, some of them, the ones I have on my property, are like a bunch of hippies, but I also have other spots where I research where you can feel the tension in the air because these things are so aggressive, you know, throwing 70-pound boulders at you, throwing logs at you, you know, and they know right where to put them too, right in front of your feet, you know. So yeah, they aren't all nice, you know. I can see where, you know, some of them are just, you want to be left alone, but others are not so nice. You come into the area, and even the nicer ones will escort you out of the wood. And I say that in the nicest way possible. They will escort you out of the woods if you interrupt them or they don't want you there.
So how much danger do you think people are unaware of these? Let's just talk about dogmen specifically. Are there any, you know, valid reports that you guys trust on actual danger, you know, where they've really hurt somebody or taken somebody? What are your thoughts? Or is it just all speculation?
Well, it's not exactly speculation, but the thing is with the dogman, he's a step above where people actually think they are, brain-wise. They're smart. They know if they kill, in this day and age, if they kill anybody, and, you know, that's going to be it. What the humans would do is not stop until they eradicate them. Then they would start hunting them all over the place. Therefore, they just try to stay unto themselves. They kill, you know, the deer, small animals and such, and fish and things like that. But they don't interact, and there's not a lot of them. You know, you might have, I don't know, I can give a funny estimate and say maybe 10,000 in the entire United States probably left.
Okay. Are there any?
They're not stupid. They know this. They know this for a fact, and they don't want to get involved with humans.
Are there any states that are exempt from sightings, and are there certain states that have far more sightings? Like in Bigfoot, we have a ton in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
But that could be cultural too, because people are more likely to report them in those areas. But
my opinion, Doug, I think, you know, there's different types of these things, and I'm not just talking about around the world. I'm talking about within North America itself. There's a lot more types of these things than people think. You know, just for an example, you know, after having experiences up here in the Adirondacks, you know, my wife and I lived in North Carolina for a few years, and we had a lot of action down there too. I don't know if it was from experience and knowing where to look and whatnot, knowing what to do, and my wife too is a researcher. So I don't know if it was that or if there's something more to it than that. I don't know. I don't think I'll breach that topic tonight, but there could be more to it than that. Like more, what's the word I'm looking for here? As far as like these things tagging you, if you see one in a certain area and you go to another area miles and hundreds of miles away, you will have that much more better luck seeing one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what about I mean, are there any states still? I'm not sure I got the answer I was looking for. Are there any states that are favorite areas where there's more sightings? I always hear Texas come up as one of the states.
Texas is, yeah. I would say more the central to southeast areas of the United States, more dogman. However, they're, like I said, I had the dogman sighting in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I went up to Maine to visit our group, our charter group up there years ago, because there was Dogman sighting up there. We were up there for 3 days, trying to track it down. I don't think there's any state that's really exempt from any of these.
I don't
if
either.
You really went through all the archives and seen where they're located. If you go through Google, they have Dogman maps and Sasquatch maps that you can check out, and if you click on the one specific area, it'll tell you a little bit about what happened and everything.
But aren't most of the maps are so incomplete? Like I know a ton of Dogman sightings, and the one map I can find for somebody doing research here in Minnesota, it's like, they have maybe 100th of how many sightings have actually happened.
Right. I think that would be the case just about anywhere, Doug. I think for every report Nick and I get, there's probably 20, 30 more that don't get reported.
So do you, what percentage, Nick, do you think people are reporting of a sighting of Dogman? I would think it'd be quite small.
I'm going to say 5%.
Yeah.
Because people don't want to seem crazy. And guys, I have to tell you this. I mean, I moved from New Jersey to North Carolina, and I got a report just after I got off the air when we went on before to check our mics and everything. And I went out with a couple of members from our local chapter to Falls of Noose River just in Raleigh area. And because we had a report of a Dogman sighting up there. It was pretty heavily dark out and everything, but we went anyway just to check it out and see what was going on, and just to speak to the people that had the reported sighting right there on the river. So I mean, look, it's happening all the time, every day.
Yeah. A couple of questions that come to mind. So we've talked about, you guys think, you both agree kind of maybe 10,000 of these things in the country, or does that include Canada?
I'd say more as far as North America total.
With Sasquatch and combining Canada, you're going to have more. But I think there's more Sasquatch.
Okay.
Than there are Dogman.
Oh, without even for sure, Nick. Yeah.
And I've always thought between 1% and 5% of reports get even a Bigfoot. It's just people don't want it. They don't need to talk about it.
They don't want to.
No.
I didn't for years.
They're scared to.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody. Me and Yvette saw that Mothman thing. We didn't tell anybody for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Nobody. Finally, I told Lon Strickler.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, it didn't feel so bad. Hell, go ahead and release it. I don't give a crap,
Yeah.
Like whatever. If people want to laugh, whatever. I had a witness.
Yeah.
Do you also, that's a great question. Do you often, or have you ever had double witnesses have a good Dogman sighting? Like, good?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you want to relay one, or is there? I hate putting you on the spot.
No, not at all.
I had one in. This is going back a few years ago. It's just above. It's in central Pennsylvania, just above where they have the casinos, and on a certain road up there that came to a T. There was cornfields on either side. I got 7 reports within a 10-day period. So 7 different, I don't want to say persons, because one was a couple, married couple. Another one was 2 friends. And it was just too many reports to ignore at the time. Dogman crossing right across from one cornfield into another. Now, the married couple reported that the Dogman, the wife, tapped her husband and said, "Look." He looked over, and there was a Dogman pacing their car. They were going 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, I've heard these stories. I've even heard
35 miles an hour, and the husband put his foot down, and he was up to 45, 50. It was still pacing. He jammed it down, and they went straight down this road, and he finally lost it. And what they found later on was that there was a claw mark on the side of their car, on the passenger side in the back. So they hit the T, and then they took off and they went home. They reported it. So that was a couple, and they both saw it. Then there was 2 friends, these 2 guys, they both saw going across from one cornfield into another.
Yeah.
And it was all on this one road. So yeah, sometimes you do get doubles.
You do. Yeah.
One time we had 4 hunters saw a dog man.
Yep.
You know, and unfortunately I didn't get to talk to them individually, which is what I would have wanted to do.
Did you guys hear that story? I know Wes had on a biologist who was hunting, and he claimed he shot a dog man. Did you ever hear that story?
Shot it dead or shot it?
No, it didn't die. No,
Yeah,
it's like it didn't even phase it. He said he could see.
Right.
Like he knew he hit it numerous, but he was claiming to be a biologist, and he sounds really credible. If you haven't found that one, you might want to look it up. It's on Sasquatch Chronicles. I don't know. It's just,
that'd be interesting to read. But the thing is, you got to remember, Doug, that, you know, first of all, why did he shoot it? Was it being aggressive? And what did he shoot it with?
Remember.
You know, what did he shoot it with? Because look at what we're talking about. A 600-pound dog man, the bones are super thick. The hide is thick. It's all muscle. Practically zero fat. It doesn't eat cakes and sugars like we eat.
Right.
I mean, this thing is gigantic in size. You shoot that with a 223, you're not going to do very much to it.
Not a chance.
Which is why when we go out, you know, on foot into the forest areas, we all have 10 millimeter Glocks, and we also use 308 with a 200 grain bullet. Because if it's going to stop a bear, you figure maybe, just maybe, you might have a chance of defending yourself against a dog man.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Nick. We don't know, like we've talked about several times. We don't know how thick that muscle is, those layers of muscle. We don't know how thick their breastplate is. You know, it could be like steel for all we know. You know what I mean?
My favorite sidearm to carry, I'm out in like even cougar country or grizzly country, is a 454 Magnum wheel gun. Man, that thing's got some power.
It's a beast. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beast.
I got a 45 Colt that I carry. Yeah.
I wouldn't use a 45. Too slow, too big a bullet. You want penetration. You don't want any sort of hollow point. You want a ball ammo. You don't want anything less than that. You need penetration.
It's crazy. Oh, I was going to mention the correlation I noticed many years ago. It started with the Beasts of the Bray Road reports, and I gave Dogman Witnesses lie detector tests. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Did you?
Oh yeah, by one of the toughest.
I think I heard that years ago.
Yeah, it was years ago. It was like 2008 or 9.
Yeah,
I think it was 2008. I did it. Hired a guy who had no sense of humor, a polygraph operator, and I think I did 5 witnesses. They all passed, except one was just kind of neutral.
Yeah,
but they all passed. And some of them were multi-witnesses.
Right.
But I noticed years ago, maybe a correlation where there were forests and cornfields.
Yes.
And I thought, well, what's with the corn? And then I thought about it, and I thought, well, maybe it's because deer are kind of hanging around cornfields too. And if they hunt deer, they're not eating the corn; they're after the deer that are eating the corn.
Right.
Is that something you've noticed too? Cornfields?
Yeah.
Nearby.
It's a pretty heavily reported. Fact that they're in that area, in the cornfield area.
How about where you saw yours, Nick? Were there cornfields or farms nearby?
No, it was forest area. And
forest, okay.
Like I said, the Lenape Indians used to inhabit that area 100 years ago, and they did have a burial grounds up there, which is protected. It's a county park up there, and it's protected. So it's a heavily forested area at that mountaintop. So that's my theory anyway, that maybe it was up there protecting the burial grounds.
So, and I'm not laughing about that. I think he's kind of joking, but he said, so a high-powered flashlight and bear spray and air horn isn't your best line of defense.
I agree with him. Bear spray.
Same here.
I mean, because that's one of the things I'll take up there.
Okay.
I take a hypersonic whistle, up there. I carry a lot of things with me. Besides that, I carry an electronic flashbang, actually 2 of them. You know, I won't set it off because the decibel level will blow out the microphone over here. And you got 1200 lumens flashing. Anything to distract and give me a couple of seconds advantage if it's attacking.
So Sovereign goes, corn is definitely a factor. And
Yeah.
I don't know their
For both
background.
Sasquatch and Dogman.
For Dogman.
And
Corn.
Sasquatch, so too.
Oh, yeah, probably. Sure.
Yeah,
I interviewed, I remember I interviewed 2 gals that when they were young, they were confronted by a Bigfoot in a cornfield.
Yes.
That they were playing in.
Yeah.
And man, they were traumatized. I mean, they told me the story. They were both crying.
I can imagine. Where the difference is being, like you said, one of you two just said that, with the Dogmen in the cornfield, and like you were talking about with Nick, they were going in there for the deer, whereas the Sasquatch the reports I've had, they'll sit right down and mow down on that corn, and I'm sure take a few deer here and there, in the cornfields, but, and I've also very interesting thing. There was a story coming out of Northern California where this marijuana farmer had been noticing, the big long buds taken off the top of his plants. And then he found 2 of his workers ripped apart. And this could be just a rumor, but I read it. It wasn't a personal report. It was one I read online. And the guy noticed that, he had been noticing his parts of his plants missing. And before long, his workers started to disappear. He'd find remains of them, and they were eating the marijuana plant.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I've heard of other marijuana growing operations in the forest that have had Bigfoot and Dogman activity.
Yeah,
it was funny. One of them asked me a question. They said, "We keep finding these big white turds on our property. What are those?" And I said, is there a pond on the property by any chance with like crappies? And the guy goes, "Yeah, we have a pond with crappies." And I went, "Yeah, that's why." I said that crappies will turn the feces white. And and it just made so much sense to the guy. He's like, "Oh my God, that's pretty good." So okay, was we talking about corn danger? Somebody had asked about, is there any odor ever associated with a Dogman sighting? Any odors reported?
That's a good question, Nick.
Yeah, like with my sighting, it smelled like a mixture of blood and urine. It was a really bad smell. Didn't smell of poop or anything. And I've had, maybe 50 to 60 other witnesses that said the same thing. Because like I said, when I interview people, I will ask them all the same questions over and over, everybody that I've interviewed. And that's what I've hit upon. It does smell like a mixture of blood and urine.
That's interesting.
It's just a nasty, coppery urine.
Kind of a metallic-y smell.
Right.
Right. And then another question. Has Nick and Jay ever heard of a sighting with both Dogman and Bigfoot?
Yeah, we did an interview where a lady has seen them together. A couple interviews. Yeah.
Any info you want to share on that?
Just where she sees them on her property. She's seen one particular Dogman that travels with a group of Sasquatch. And I think it, could have been, maybe its parents were killed at an early age, or I don't know. Who knows why it's happening? But she said they run together, and I've got no reason to doubt her because she's always been a credible witness for Nick and I. So I totally believe her.
Okay.
But generally,
it'll be a rogue Nick, rogue Dogman.
Yeah, generally it wouldn't be happening that way because they really don't play well together.
No,
look at the land between the lakes, Kentucky and Tennessee. Tennessee has mostly Dogmen. Kentucky has more Sasquatch. And then there's a certain area that's common to both Kentucky and Tennessee, LBL area, that you will have a mixture of the two of them passing by, but never interacting with each other. That's a rarity. That's a rarity.
It's a rarity. Yeah. Yeah.
Any wet dog smells from these things?
Not that I've had reported. No.
I have heard it coming out of a Sasquatch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But me personally, I've never smelled an odor from a Sasquatch. I've had 3 encounters and 2 sightings. I personally have never gotten that odor. I don't know. It could be a glandular thing for all we know.
Of course.
We don't really know a lot about them yet.
Yeah, I doubt it's hygiene. The animals are usually quite clean. They're just usually it's probably some gland that they have that they
like the other ones I've seen, and I'll get about the other encounters later, but these were very groomed.
Yeah, that's another thing too. We've talked about in the past that God, you would think most of them would be groomed.
Mm-hmm.
I interviewed a guy who also had seen often dogmen and Bigfoots on his property. And it was interesting because he didn't know his neighbor who had also had the same kind of experiences, which is interesting. They'd never even met.
Right.
And that's when it gets real interesting, when you find a homestead that's got activity and you go out and you start knocking on doors and just getting the reaction. Boy, it's kind of interesting because they're like, oh, really? Oh, I thought that was only us.
Yes.
And that really confirms both of them.
Yes,
makes you both feel better. I was like, well, you need to go down and meet, your neighbor because it'll make you both feel better.
Yeah, it gives credibility to both of them.
Yeah, of course. Tons of credibility to both. Yeah. The chances of that happening by accident are really slim. Yeah. Anyhow, okay, we're gonna cut this. I could interview you guys all night. You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
I want to get you both back because we probably just skimmed the surface.
We did. We could have kept talking all night.
Yeah, we could talk all night for sure.
But you guys are absolutely incredible. Really, I mean, you guys are both.
Appreciate that.
I'll give you my experience with the Jersey Devil the next time I come on.
Well, come on, dang it.
We'll let it hang. Go ahead.
Okay, let it hang. All right, we'll get you back on, then we'll get you booked. Because
great.
You guys are amazing. And I really appreciate your great audio too. It's nice.
Yeah.
And do you guys have a podcast that you're doing?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Well, pitch it.
Our podcast is called On the Trail in Search of Living Legends.
Okay.
Nick and I, it's actually how Nick and I met. I was running the podcast at the time with another gentleman, and he said, let's call Nick Valente, see if he'll come on for an interview. And I said, awesome. I said, that'll be one of our first Dogman interviews. This is when it had first started. And I got Nick on, and we had to break Nick's episode up into 3 different episodes because he had so much this guy's got so much information about Dogman. It's unbelievable. He's taught me everything I know about Dogman. We kind of balance each other out, with Sasquatch and the Dogman, But it's great working with Nick. He's like a big brother to me. He's my best friend. We work great together. And this show, we have a great time doing this show together. And
that's awesome.
It's awesome.
You never told me, Jay.
I did? I thought I did.
You never did. Oh, you did. I'll have to give it a listen here.
Yeah, me too.
I'd be a lot of good content there.
Yeah, I'll send you our YouTube channel later on.
And then tell us about the International Dogman Project a little bit more, Nick. You have a website that people can go to?
Yeah, they can go to the International Dogman Project -USA.
Okay.
We have about 16 different chapters. And I got to say, we have IDP United Kingdom, IDP Europe, going to be opening something up in New Zealand and Australia. Believe it or not, in Australia, we have something like 97 members, out of Australia. So I got to open something up there. And then we have IDP chapters throughout different states, like West Virginia, Maine, New York, just to name a few places, New Hampshire, Oklahoma, Missouri,
North Carolina.
We're spreading out here and there. I just need to have the right people at the right places and then we'll open up another chapter, in the states that we're not open now. But we are, like Jay said in the beginning, we're a no-kill organization, but you do have a right to go out into the forest and research. And we don't just go 1 or 2 or 3 miles. We go 12, sometimes 20 miles deep, depending on where you're at. And we do go out there fully kitted up. And we're kind of ready for mostly anything out there. You may not always come across a Sasquatch or a Dogman. You might come across something else, like a tick, like mosquitoes, like a cougar, a bear, coyote, so snakes. We wear gaiters, so just in case, from the knees down, if you get, have a snake, shoot out at you. We definitely wear boots. We do not wear tongs out there, on our feet, we took a bunch of people out one time, and several of them showed up with beach shoes, and it's like, you're not going to last long, and we just try to take precautions, but we try to enjoy our time out there and document what we see. And we try to do it in a forensic type style, so that we don't break the science. If we find something, we start from A and we go all the way through Z, to keep the evidence. So, and we just try to have fun while we're doing it too.
Yeah. Next time we're on, there's a couple more videos I sent. We'll have to pull up that are pretty interesting.
We can get into all of it.
Yeah. And if I can do one more shout out, Doug, that'd be really cool. Okay. And Nick and I are really good friends with Daryl Denton, and
Daryl,
Daryl's a great guy. He's a great friend of mine.
He's beyond a great guy.
He's beyond a great guy. Just everyone out there in the audience, look out in 2026. Daryl, Ron Moorhead, Ethan Oates, and Mike Smith are coming out with a pretty good documentary movie. So keep your eyes out open for that.
Looking forward to that for sure.
As far as Nick and I go, you definitely haven't seen the end of us. We're going to keep on trucking.
Awesome.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it, man. I had actually had no idea. I'm so happy to meet you guys finally.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure, guys.
Yeah, well, it was all mine, and thank you so much. Just stand by. We're going to just do our quick wisdom of the week, and then we'll come right back.
Yep, everybody hang tight. We'll be right back.
Sure.
It's now time for Untold Radio AM Wisdom of the Week. Every week we rush around chasing something, whether it's a solution to a problem or an answer to a question. But the truth is, most of what we need is already in front of us. We just move too fast to notice it. Slow down once in a while. Let life breathe a little. When you give things space, clarity shows up on its own, and the problems that felt huge start to look more like puzzles that you can actually solve. Good night. We hope to see you all next week. If you like the show tonight, please consider giving us a thumbs up, leaving a nice comment, and most of all, subscribing and hitting the bell so you will be notified when a new episode is dropping. Also, please share this episode. Now back to Doug and Jeff for our wrap.
So I want to thank everybody in chat. Holy crap, there's a lot of stuff coming in. You guys are awesome, and you guys really good luck to both of you. And
thank you.
I'll love to get you back on in maybe February.
That would work for us.
All right, awesome. And thanks so much, Nick. Thanks so much, Jay, and
our pleasure.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks for having us on.
Thanks for having us on.
We will
Appreciate
talk
it.
soon. Stay in touch. Okay, bye everybody.
Will do.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
I call you up in the middle of the night. Been bothered by dreams, ain't feeling alright. You give me comfort, say just give it some time. By the end of our talk, I'm feeling just fine. You and I will always know where we belong. This ain't no ordinary love we got going on. I'll pick you up in my 59 Ford. We head on down the road until we get bored. Just you and me and the sun and the wind. If the rain should start falling, we'll should be in doubt.